Hello everybody, how's it going, and welcome back to the As Always podcast, episode 138. I'm one of your hosts, James, and I'm joined, as always, by Tyler.
As always, how's it going, my friend?
It's going pretty well, how you doing?
Yeah, doing very well. It's
Nice.
storming like a shit show outside, so I was a little delayed sorting this out and getting here to the show, trying to move people's cars around, and that didn't go great. So I'm wet, but that's fine. And it didn't matter anyway, because I wasn't really late, because Brett thought we weren't doing it for another 12 hours, and it's 4 a.m. for him, so he's exhausted. But yeah, welcome to our guest Brett, by the way. How's it going, man?
As always, thank you guys for having me. Tyler, you might be wet, but you look fantastic right now, if I'm being honest. So
thank you so much.
Thank you guys for inviting me back.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course, you're one of the staples of our community, and it's been a while, so it's great to have you back on the show. And for the last As Always podcast for 2020, so the As Always Awards, and a lot of news has come out. We had the Game Awards this past week. Disney revealing lots of Marvel and Star Wars stuff. There's a lot of news to go through, a lot of stuff to go through to cover to wrap up 2020 for As Always. And then we've just got one more Clubhouse next week, and then we're done for the year of podcasts. That's the end of it. So crazy times. But I thought I'd start with Brett. You're obviously, well, I just want to say I'm sorry, first of all, because your key franchise you follow is Watch Dogs. So first of all, I'm sorry for that. And how do you feel after your third disappointment in the third installment of that franchise?
It hurts, I'm not going to lie.
Crack a beer. Cheers, guys.
Well, so for Watch Dogs Legion, I didn't expect it to be like a massive hit, but I was definitely pretty disappointed after playing it. Because, I mean, there is some good things about it, but yeah, no, the game didn't turn out as well as I would have hoped.
Isn't that the review for all three Watch Dogs games? There are some good things about it. Like, that could be the whole franchise.
That's any Ubisoft game. That doesn't even have to be Watch Dogs, to be honest.
It's a great point.
Yeah, I'm tired of Ubisoft games in general, to be honest. Like, I tried to play Assassin's Creed Valhalla, probably got like an hour into it, and then I just couldn't play it anymore. Just because it feels like, I mean, you guys know, every Ubisoft game feels the same. And I know Valhalla is getting a lot of praise from fans and critics. It's just that, like, I can't force myself. Like, I have to sit down and force myself to play it, and I don't want to do that. I just want to sit back and enjoy it. And another problem with Valhalla is it's just, like, 70 hours to beat. And that's a long ass time.
Really,
and then
long,
at the end of it, it's like, well, what was the point of that anyway? So
we're not getting into this now because I liked it and you don't. But that's alright. I already knew that was going to be the case.
You don't know if I don't like it. I've never said I didn't like it. I've never said that.
I mean, you've not explicitly said I. Actually, you might have. You might have said that.
When did I say that?
Hang on, let me find a direct quote from you really quickly.
Yeah. I've insinuated things, but maybe I'm totally leading you all astray. Because I've
what you
refused
said
to talk
is
about it until
no more AC. I can't do that again. What a waste
hang on.
time.
So I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you right there.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to take quotes from our Four Pillars private chat. That's not
but
allowed.
You have said it.
I've said it to you guys, maybe. I've said it to you guys in private, maybe.
Oh, it's funny.
But yeah. Yeah, it's been a few days. I still haven't finished all the endings.
Okay, you've not finished the order ending?
Game. I finished the main game.
Okay, yeah, cool.
And I was like, cool. That was yep. Was worth all the time I put into this.
But James, I thought you actually liked the ending and just the game in general. Oh, okay.
I did. But I think me and Tyler both play Assassin's Creed for slightly different reasons. Even though we both agree on some things, or like most things, I think there's like almost a slight differing there. And I knew when I played the ending, I was like, I don't think Tyler's gonna like this. And it's mostly because of what the game, like the rest of the game as well. I was like, just the direction that it's going, I just think is the opposite of sort of what you wanted. Whereas for me, I don't know. I just think we want different things sometimes, but It'll be interesting to talk about when we eventually get to it.
Yeah, I just think there's so much content in that game, like, and obviously not all of it's gonna be good, and that's just the problem with Assassin's Creed now. Is like Odyssey had the same issues where the game is just way too bloated and big, and you can't write a good story, and that like you have to cut it down, and that's just what it ends up to. And I can't play 70 hours of a game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I think it's also for a game like Assassin's Creed where it didn't start out like that. Like when you're playing a Witcher, you know what you're getting into. If you're playing like an Elder Scrolls, you know what you're getting into. But when you're playing an Assassin's Creed, it shouldn't be 70 to 100 hours long. Like it's just not what the franchise is, and so it just doesn't suit that method of storytelling. And so I think a lot of fans are just like, this is like there's some really really good stuff in here, but why is this game this long? Why is there this much content? And it shouldn't be.
With Witcher and Elder Scrolls, like, they push the genre forward, whereas Assassin's Creed Valhalla is fundamentally the same as Assassin's Creed Origins and Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so it feels kind of exactly the same, and it's not pushing any boundaries, really. Well, I haven't played it that much, so I can't really say, but yeah.
Well, no, you're right. It's not pushing any boundaries, really. It's not innovating. Like, it's doing some things which I think are a lot better, and I think it makes it a more unique experience, at least from an Assassin's Creed perspective. But it's not doing something where you're going to see like a bunch of games going, oh, let's do that thing because it's so cool. It's just like it does what it does, and I think it does it relatively well in a lot of areas, pretty bad in some other areas. Like there's so much to it, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it's definitely not perfect, and that's why like everyone's been saying, oh, James, make Valhalla fix me. And I'm like, look, guys, I really like the game, but it's not so good that it deserves that video, to be honest. Like, it's not, I don't know.
No, it's not. But that's...
No! You're going to hurt Darby's feelings, and I'm not having it.
I don't... This is the hardest part about it. That's the hardest part about it. Like, I said on Twitter yesterday, I was like, oh, if I don't talk about this soon, I'm going to explode. And Darby responded with, if you're mean to us, I'm going to explode. And I'm like, Darby... I've got to be honest with you. The last thing I want is to hurt your feelings. I fucking love Darby. And let's be honest, like, the reasons that I may or may not like Valhalla have nothing to do with the same reasons I might not like an Odyssey, for example. Odyssey is just a plain terrible game. I don't like Valhalla for the same reason people don't like The Last of Us Part 2. They just don't agree with the direction.
Yeah,
there's not a quality issue to me with Valhalla's... writing. I just don't like the direction we're going. That's what it comes down to ultimately. Without spoiling anything, this isn't what I want from Assassin's Creed. This is not what I'm looking for. It's never been what I've been looking for. And quite frankly, I was like, this is it's nonsense, honestly. That's the word I used when I was describing it to my reaction to you and Ethan was like nonsense. Nonsense. And what I want and what I love about Assassin's Creed is the most grounded elements of the franchise, which is this, sort of mystical, mysterious order that, works in the darks to serve the light and exists through thousands of years of real human history, but is not known. The hidden ones, the assassins. That's what I love about the franchise. It's Assassin's Creed.
I love that too, yeah.
And I love the exploring of being an assassin in different historical settings. And that's, at the end of the day, all I'm looking for. You give me more on top of that, that's exciting. Let's explore different things for sure. But if I don't get that, and you want to focus on other aspects of the franchise, that's cool for people that like that, but I'm not there for that. So
yeah, well, that's what I said to everybody on stream. I said, like, if you don't get that foundation there, anything extra you're not going to like, because you said before, like when we talked about this, were you
saying is this why I wouldn't like it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because we've talked about this before, and I think we even talked about it on the very first episode of this podcast we did ever. But it was I got into Assassin's Creed properly through AC1. Like when I played that, it was the modern day in that game that made me love it. Whereas for you, it was Ezio. And so through that, like, you just love, like, the Assassin stuff. Obviously, I do as well, and, like, that is one of the issues I also have with the game. But obviously, the reason I am there was always for a different reason. Like, we talked about it before, like, when Brotherhood was coming out, for example. Like, yeah, I really wanted to know what happened to Ezio, but honestly, more than that, I wanted to know what happened to Desmond. And, like, that's why I was there. And so, there's, like,
and the only reason I was there was Ezio. I was like, Desmond could not be in the game, I could give a fuck. Like...
Yeah,
when the
exactly.
brother was
Whereas for
coming
me,
out.
like that would just ruin the whole thing. Like I probably wouldn't have if they just suddenly got rid of Desmond. I probably wouldn't even have bought it. Like and
Yeah,
so there's that difference there. And so I knew this was coming. Everyone was like, no, James, I think you're wrong. I'm like, no, Tyler's not gonna like it, guys. Especially when I finished like the whole thing as well. Like I knew for sure. And there was this moment where like I guess it's a small thing, but I was like when I played it. And I was like, I was mad about it, and like I was like going into like full lasers ramp mode, and then Darby showed up in the chat, and then I was like, okay, I need to calm down a minute, and just maybe I'll be a bit more measured and try and critique it properly and explain. And what I realized was, and I said this to Darby at the time, was just I understand, and like it's not that it doesn't make sense narratively, it does. Like I get it, and there's a little bit I do have an issue with where I'm like, oh, it's kind of dumb, but it's not that it doesn't make sense entirely. I just don't like it, and
yeah,
that's really just it. So yeah, but we'll get into that eventually when we do the spoiler cast, which who knows when that'll be, because George still has to play through the game and everything.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be very early in January, I'd imagine, because we're just gonna record,
well, you say that now, but wait until we're in January and he still hasn't fucking finished the game.
If he hasn't played it, we're just doing it without him because he's had his like. I can only wait so long.
We've got to do it before the first DLC at least.
Oh, dude, we have to. I want to do it now. I need to talk to someone about it. I can't just sit here with my dick in my hand, like.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
You know, me and Ethan have been finished for ages. I mean, Ethan's been finished even before me, so.
Yeah.
He's been waiting a while.
It's yeah, he finished it twice before I finished it, and I still haven't even finished it. I've just finished the main game. I've got like these 2 extra bits to finish at the end. At the end here,
You're nearly done.
I'm just gonna finish that tomorrow, but yeah,
You've literally played through it twice.
Yeah, he played through it live after he finished in private with his like review code, and then he played it through on his channel.
I don't know how we completed it so quick that first time with the review code. Like, he finished it in like a week. I don't know how the fuck he did it. Like, how did he do? Like, I was playing it like 10 hours every single day on stream, and it still took me 13 days. So I don't know how the fuck he did that. But
yeah, well, I didn't play that. Well, I played it. The longest I played in a day was Friday when I finished the main story, and that was like 7 hours. I'm like,
the longest, literally, the longest I played was a stream where I had to split it into 2 streams, so it must have been like 14 hours. I think I played it straight.
Yeah.
Which was kind of insane. And by the end of it, I was just really angry because I was just so fucking tired. But I was trying to like finish up everything on the map and get all these honestly, resources.
I skimmed through story arcs. That's the level I got to. With some of those later story arcs that meant nothing, I was just like, I don't care. And I was just skimming through them. I was just, oh my god, get fucked. Like, honestly, I was just like skimming through them. And I'm like, what are we doing here at this point? Like, just get me to the end where I'll care. And then I got to the end, I'm like, like, what? This is what I was waiting for? Okay. But,
I can't
you can beat Watch Dogs Legion in like 12 hours, by the way, so. If you guys
wasted hours.
Yeah, you could probably do it in like 10 hours on it if you're like speeding through it.
That seems kind of long.
I mean,
like, I expected if you speed through a Watch Dogs game for it to be like 4.5 hours or something.
I'm just going based off memory, but I feel like it took me, I don't know, 15 hours and I did like everything. So if I was speeding through it, it could probably be like 8. I know like Marvel's Spider-Man is a pretty short game too, but if you like do everything, you can like, obviously the playtime will be a lot longer.
Yeah, and the game sort of encourages you to as well. But I miss short games. It's weird after playing a game like Valhalla. Like, I'd love just a new Assassin's Creed to be like 10 to 15 hours long. That'd be so good.
Like with Cyberpunk, they try to cut it down from The Witcher 3, but I'm like 30 hours in almost, and I'm not close to beating the story, I don't think. So yeah, games are definitely a lot longer than they were.
I don't like it. Stop that.
I'm not doing it, man. I'm not doing it.
I'll tell you what I'm not doing. Playing an Assassin's Creed game that's that long ever fucking again.
You know what I don't think we're going to have to anyway.
Absolutely fuck that. Well, I mean, I'll probably never play Assassin's Creed again, if I'm being honest with you. I will play the Ezio trilogy, and that's it.
Jesus.
I'm just,
you're hearing this, Darby.
I'm so over it.
You've lost him.
I'm just so fucking over it. Like, honestly, and it's just, I'm just done. It's just not made for me. And I need to accept that.
Me too.
It's not made for me anymore, and I need to accept that. And that's all it is. And I love Darby, and I think he's an incredible writer, and I think his writing in this was amazing. It's just not for me. That's all it is.
Yeah. I think
It's
there's like one
nothing
thing
to do
that
with the
almost
quality.
there's like one change I feel like you could make that would make everything in this game feel so much better and richer, and I just, at least for me anyway.
Can you type it in the chat what that would be? Because I need to know what you're saying.
I think there's a lot of nuance to it, but alright.
Just try to... Because we're trying to not spoil anything. And obviously a lot of people have finished it, but a lot of people haven't finished it, so we're... yeah, well, I mean, that's all it needed. You know what I mean? That's literally all it needed. And I would have been almost fine with everything else. But I just got there and I was like, look, what are we even fucking doing? Like, why are we here? Why are we here?
Everything you do would mean so much more if that was the journey you went on. Yeah, no, so was I. I was like, wait, what the fuck? Yeah, and I was like, just mad about it. And that's when Darby showed up, and I was like, okay. But it's like, it's just one of them things where I'm like, like I understand, but also, no.
Do you think it was like a Ubisoft decision, or Darby actually wanted that outcome?
Honestly, I think it's because of the way the game is built. Darby said this thing to me while I was on stream, and he said that with Black Flag, something that he originally wanted to do was to have the ending of Black Flag is triggered by the player, so the player has to choose to give up being a pirate and give up their ship and leave to go back to England with Jenny. And that would then you can't go back to the open world, like the game's just over and you can't play it anymore. But they couldn't do that because, I mean, Ubisoft don't like giving up gameplay for story reasons. So I guess, like, he didn't say that, but I assume it was like people being like, no, we can't do that. We've got to let him keep being a pirate. So I understand what you're saying. We've got to like use the animals.
You don't want to explain. You don't want to explain.
Yeah.
What you're saying right now, but we know what you're saying. Anyone that's finished the game knows what you're saying.
Just the context of Valhalla, the way that the whole game is built, you wouldn't be able to keep going with all of the different pieces of content if it happened. So that would be like, I feel like that's part of the reason. Like, I feel like, and I said this as well, and I think a lot of other Assassin's Creed fans have been saying this, is you can see everything Darby is doing, and I feel like it would be 10 times better and more achievable if the game wasn't structured like The Witcher 3. If the game was structured like a fucking Assassin's Creed game, I think the writing he's got there would shine so much more heavily. And I feel like there's such a restriction there.
It's bloated
on the way the game is
so
structured.
much pointless content.
Yeah, I feel that it's not necessarily pointless, it's just far less interesting, because I feel like it all serves a point by the end, but it's almost not worth serving that point because it diminishes stuff that's way more interesting. And I feel like that's really the issue here.
Yeah, I agree with you.
There's so many issues I have with it, and that's why it can't be like a Valhalla fix me, because there's so many fucking issues I have that just piss me off. But then there's so much about it that I love so much that it's like, I really did love the game. But at the same time, there's so much stuff where I'm like, this pissed me off. Like, why wasn't it perfect? It could have been. And it's just like, I don't know. It's really, yeah. But we can't talk much more without getting deep into spoilers. It's Ubisoft. That's exactly what it is. And Darby should leave them and go work at a better company, to be honest. We're never getting him on the podcast.
He should come on the podcast. Let's be honest with ourselves.
That's what he should do. Just leave Ubisoft and come on the podcast. We'll hire you. You can write for us. There you go. You can write our episodes. What is he going to write for us? You can write the episodes. They'll just be scripted from now on. But they'll feel so real. They'll just be better. They'll have a storyline.
Yeah, okay.
That'd be good.
How much are we going to pay him?
Podcasts. I don't know. For a few peanuts.
Yeah.
He'll be alright.
He'll be alright. Yeah. He'll manage. He'll
manage with that.
Sustain a family and raise a child off that.
Yeah, he can raise them with his passion for the craft.
He could come live with me in Spokane.
Yeah, he'd love that.
Yeah, I'm literally, I just kind of moved from Spokane, but I'll go back there if he wants to live with me.
Yeah, you two can live together and make YouTube content on Ubisoft games.
Oh, no.
UbiCentral can be Brett and Darby, and they make content together. That'd be fun. You could start a podcast.
No. I don't want to talk about Ubisoft. I don't want to play Ubisoft games. I'm miserable, okay?
Brett, what do you want to do? What do you want to do, Brett?
I don't know. I think about deleting my channel because I just hate Ubisoft.
Why don't you just change the name?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But no, but I'm serious. This is just like another point in general. Why don't you just change the name?
I just don't know what I would change it to, and I kind of just like the name, and it's my name on like Twitter and everything, and I don't know.
I do
it's
like
just
the
a long
name.
process. Yeah, or I could just like put it to Ubi instead of UbiCentral, but I don't know. That's even more
true. Because then
complicated.
it'd be like a cool, unique name. Like my name's just Ubi. It just happens to sound like Ubisoft. It's got nothing to do with it.
My friends in real life literally call me Ubi. Just they know about like my YouTube channel and everything, so they just call me Ubi.
That's funny.
Oh god.
Oh man.
Well, yeah. So we do have a lot to get through that isn't related to Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah, we do.
So I feel like we should just start with the AsAlways awards before we get into it.
Sure.
All the news.
Sure thing.
Or we can like break it up. We'll do a few of the awards and get into some news.
Oh yeah, it can be like the Game Awards where they do a few awards and they do a reveal of something. Yeah, let's do it.
Advertisements. Do you guys have sponsors?
We wish we did.
Yeah, the great people over at patreon.com/AsAlways. Make the show happen. Thank you so much, Brett, for reminding us.
Yep.
Because I almost forgot the great people at patreon.com/AsAlways that make the show happen. So thank you to our producers, Avry Dobbs, Cat94, Colton the Creeper King, Damian, does the name William Miles ring a bell, Flashparadox, Jesper Olsen, Josh Duh Vil Yay, Cassandra fingers me with her thick, strong arms, King Richard III, Matt Carnes, Olbrick, it seems the wind is calling you back to Ranvi, Raj, Real Cinema, Viridian, and Ballsack47. Thank you, Swift Inches lads, for fucking power of this podcast.
Yeah.
I love those usernames so much. They always get better each time I'm on this podcast.
Oh man, you should not say that because you haven't heard the full list yet.
Yeah, you just wait for that full list.
Yeah, it's just life altering. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. Now,
It's tough.
for these awards, right, are we going to have epic artwork on screen like we did last year?
Oh, man. No. No. Josh can just put like an image of the winners himself. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're lowering
Like,
our production value. We have to pay money
do you
for an
know how-
editor, so we
it
don't have the
took
time
me-
for this now.
It took me a full day to make those. I thought about doing those nomination screens again. I'm like, I'm not fucking doing it.
I could do it.
I'll tell you
What did they
when I
look
would
like?
have done it, when I didn't have to play a 1,000-hour Assassin's Creed game that ended that way. So, now I don't have time for that.
Okay. Well, I want to see what did they look like before? I'm trying to find them. Oh, Tyler Art, is it in here? No, that ain't it. Where the fuck? Did you put them on Drive at all? You must have done, because otherwise how the fuck would I have got them?
Well, we might have taken them off the drive.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Shit. Well, I'm never going to see them now. But
Well, that's not true. I've got them on my phone. I can just text them to you.
okay. I reckon I could make them again.
Reckon you can make them again?
How many categories do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 categories. I reckon I could do that in about a minute and a half. Maybe.
Are these like winners already picked out and everything?
They're voted for, so we've got
voted for.
votes to go through.
James, you haven't checked anything, have you? You want it to be a surprise still?
I mean, I've got it here, but I haven't I'm not actively looking at it.
Okay. Do you want me to announce them all, and you get surprised again, or?
You can announce them all. I feel like that one of us needs to give a reaction.
I agree. So James and I came up with the nominations, and then the people voted on them, Brett. But what I want to do is we'll go through the first category of the AsAlways Awards 2020, which is we're going to do here we go. The TV show of the year.
That's not the top one, is it?
No, Game of the Year is going to be last.
Right, so you're going through in a different order.
Yeah,
right,
yeah. You let me. Hey, just let me do this.
Okay,
You know
all
what I
right,
mean?
yeah, okay. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, I do know what I'm doing. Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
So the nominations for Show of the Year for AsAlways 2020 is The Last Kingdom, You, The Witcher, Dark, Afterlife, and Cobra Kai. So first things first, Brett.
First things first.
out of those, Brett, what would be your show of the year for 2020 if you've watched any of them?
I've only seen Cobra Kai, so I would have to go with that.
You haven't seen The Witcher or The Last Kingdom?
No, I haven't watched The Witcher.
Wow.
I didn't even finish The Witcher 3, the game. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Fuck. Even
Well, I
Tyler's
mean,
finished The Witcher 3.
I know it doesn't really follow the game, but yeah, I just haven't watched it.
Yeah. Right.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I mean, it's fine. Cobra Kai, it's a great show.
I'm a gamer. I'm not a TV show watcher. Okay?
But you haven't even finished The Witcher 3.
Oh shit, you're right.
I guess you're not a
Damn.
fucking gamer.
Yeah, I'm not a gamer. Damn. Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai. It's a great show. It's a great show. James, what's your show of the year?
It's got to be Dark. That's the one I nominated, so it's got to be that.
Yeah. Okay.
It also is that, so there you go.
Yeah.
Great show.
Now,
10 out of 10.
I watched all 4 seasons of The Last Kingdom this year, and I thought it was an amazing show. Definitely worthy of being on there. Great show.
Very good show.
You season 2, fucking mental. Like, what a great show.
That was good fun.
That was such good fun. So I got to give a shout out to you. And The Witcher, like, was definitely going to be show of the year until I saw Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai is easily my favorite show this year. It's one of my favorite shows ever, and that I've seen in years. It's amazing.
What is that
and I'm
about?
such
Doing kicks and also punches?
It's a like sequel series to the film series of The Karate Kid, which I
was right.
The Karate Kid growing up. Okay.
Yeah,
it's an incredible show. It's amazing, so well done, so well written. I love the show, and I'm going to say Cobra Kai. But now it's time to announce the official winners for Show of the Year, voted by the people, the listeners of the AsAlways podcast.
The people
and
are usually wrong, though. So
they usually are. That's true. Drum roll, please, James. The Witcher. The Witcher. And Josh, if you could put in some like little applause sound effects, that would be great too. The Witcher was voted by a lot. Show of the year 2020 for the AsAlways Awards. So
wait, hold on. What about The Mandalorian and The Boys? Where are those shows?
Well, we didn't
neither
watch
of us have
The
seen
Boys,
The Boys,
and we
hate
shit,
The Mandalorian.
so...
It's a shit show, so we don't. Yeah.
So they're not going on our list.
Mandalorian is great. What do you guys?
No,
it's
I'm
not
talking
good, is
about
it,
this.
I tried to watch the first episode of season 2, and I'm just like, I don't give a fuck about this. I turned it off after 10 minutes.
You guys,
like,
it's okay to be wrong.
Yeah,
I just don't think.
So it's fine.
I just don't think
you're fine, Brett.
being on sand planets and seeing stormtroopers is that good. It's It's just filler bullshit and nothing fucking happens. The whole show sucks. It's fucking garbage. Get out of my face with the Mandalorian. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, people are gonna dislike this video now.
The Last Jedi's better anyway, so.
We'll do one more for now. We'll do 3 at a time, I feel. We'll do 3 at a time. I'm sure we've got like 12 categories.
There's 11, but yeah.
There's 11, whatever. Movie of the Year. The nominees for Movie of the Year, as always, was 2020 are Tenet. This makes me physically ill, but Sonic.
Yes.
I just like to point out that our editor Josh also chimed in saying during the editing process saying that it did not deserve to be on here.
Yeah, but Josh doesn't get a say.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
He's just a slave who we pay. So he's not that at all. He's an employed worker.
The Gentleman, 1917, and Jojo Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Brett, what was your favorite film of 2020 of those nominees?
So I've only seen 1917 and Jojo Rabbit, and 1917, it's a different kind of movie. Obviously, it's like trying to be one shot. I really liked. I liked the way it was made. It's different from everything, but Jojo Rabbit's also a dark kind of comedy that I really enjoyed. So
yeah,
that's tough. But I think I'm just gonna go with 1917 just for being like a better, well-made film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of
sense.
James, obviously, it's got to be Sonic. What the fuck? It's not even a question. My official movie of the year is going to be Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie.
James, I'm gonna need you to be serious. I'm gonna need you to take
I'm
this
dead
serious.
serious. I'm
You're
serious.
not serious.
Wait,
You're not being
best
serious.
movie
James,
of
have
the
you
year.
seen the other movies?
Yeah.
And you still pick
1917 was
Sonic?
alright, but it lacked a blue hedgehog, and I just think that it let it down a little bit.
forgot you're, like, a
Imagine a
big Sonic
one-shot
fan.
film that follows Sonic. How good would that have been? Yeah, they didn't think about that. They thought that, we'll set in World War One. All right then.
I will say this:
Try
props
again.
to Sonic for like changing his design and making it better, listening to the audience. So that was good.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen the movie, but I mean,
It was pretty good. It was fine.
I'll take a fine video game movie. There isn't a lot of those, so
Yeah, it's probably is
Yeah.
the best video game movie, but that doesn't say a lot. Like it was good. Like I enjoyed myself watching it. I guess I'll go with 1917 then. It doesn't matter anyway because my say doesn't count. So yeah, but 1917 was sick. Sick ear.
1917 is amazing. Jojo Rabbit definitely up there. The Gentleman was my like dark horse, like incredible movie. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times now. It's so fucking funny and entertaining. So well scripted, so well directed by Guy Ritchie, and you know the stars in it: Matthew McConaughey, Hugh Grant, Charlie Hunnam absolutely murdered this movie. They just did a phenomenal job. So that would be that's up there. That's up there. Tenet, also an amazing, not my favorite Nolan movie, but I still thought it was really good. Sonic doesn't deserve to be even mentioned in the same breath as any of those movies.
But you've not seen it, have you? So how would you know?
But if I have to pick, well, why would I watch shit? I know I haven't had
Well, you
cancer.
just
I
wouldn't know.
don't want it.
Hey, you haven't
so
watched
that's-
Daredevil. You don't know.
Yeah, of
you
You
course.
haven't
don't
watched
know.
Daredevil? Wait.
Of course I haven't. Why would I watch a
Daredevil.
cancelled
Oh,
shit
no.
show?
Well-
no. Oh my god.
You know, apparently Daredevil's going to be in Spider-Man 3. So you're going to not watch Spider-Man 3 now?
Apparently you're going to be in Spider-Man 3. Who the fuck isn't in that movie? I don't give a fuck.
I
Like
am.
that says anything.
I'm actually here to announce it right now.
Yeah. You're
I'm
reprising
reprising my role.
Yeah. So, if I had to pick one, the best movie on that list is probably 1917.
Yeah.
And the official movie of the
Makes
year
sense, man.
for the AsAlways Awards 2020 is 1917.
You got it
The
right.
world thought the same.
Ooh. Well predicted.
There wasn't a
there
lot
was-
of movies this year. I mean, obviously because of COVID.
Obviously,
but, like, I'm
yeah,
looking at the list though, and it's just like that's kind of depressing. Of just the movies
I'm really
that came
sad
out.
Black Widow didn't come out. I was really looking forward to Black Widow, the movie.
Yeah.
Which was a shame. But there you go. You know, we don't get everything we want.
They put Mulan on Disney Plus, so
They did do that, yeah.
yeah.
Apparently that was really bad.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I'm
Yeah.
No,
probably
I'm
not
not
gonna
going
see
to.
it. Yeah,
No.
probably not going to.
Well done, Disney. You did it again. Yeah, alright, what's the next category?
Next
that we're doing
category
right here and now.
is meme of the year. Meme of
Meme
the year.
of the year, yes.
Yes. Let's do a funny one.
Yeah, and just to clarify, they're community-specific memes. Not even community-specific memes, more like AsAlways specific memes. So,
Yeah.
right? So like memes that Tyler understands.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So.
Thanks, dickhead.
So not like...
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
in that case, I'm gonna vote for all of them because I love this community, and you guys are all winners.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's nice.
really nice.
Yeah.
Well, you can't all be winners, but we'll go on. As always, awards meme of the year nominees are Unity After Patches equals best game ever. I still don't understand how that's a recent meme, but James told me it was, so I don't
That was
remember
so funny. Because it's been going all year.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. Out of context, Ezio Trilogy quotes. That's been. I mean, I'll say that's been
Good meme.
personally my favorite meme of the year.
Good
the
meme,
coal
like it.
mines. The coal mines. It's been a good, solid meme this year as well.
Strong meme.
Strong meme. Wideshe. From
Mm-hmm.
when Walshy and Founder Scarborough on the podcast, and Riley Reid fucked Paul Sack 47. That's been a classic, big staple of Clubhouse this year.
Decent
And
meme.
had to be
Good
a
meme at the
notable
time. Very
mention.
strong meme at the time. Maybe didn't age as well as the other memes, but, you know, still a contender,
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, James, what would you pick out of all of those? What's your meme of the year? Mine's out of
What would I
context
pick?
Ezio Trilogy quotes for sure.
Ooh, I think it would be between the Ezio Trilogy quotes and the coal mines. The coal mines, I think, is still a good meme. Like, I still think it's a funny meme, but it was just so stupidly funny at the time that it's, like, just such a dumb, good meme when we came up with it on Horsey and Fox, and it just evolved into this, like, shit show. I think that brings it pretty high. But Ezio Trilogy quotes as well, have been just continuously on the same level of funny, I feel. So might have to go with that, but you know,
they aren't
we'll
overused. They're
who
just
wins.
consistently used at a good amount of, at a good rate, as well.
Yeah, they're just used. They're just used appropriately at the right time, and they always catch you off guard. You know.
Yeah.
So, you're not expecting it.
Yeah.
Pretty
Agreed. Good. Brett, do you have an opinion on this? I assume you don't. You just said everyone wins. You wouldn't.
I
know
agree
many
with
of these.
James.
Yep.
Mhm.
Cool. Very cool.
Good.
Well, the official winner of
Very
Meme of the
cool.
Year 2020 is Out of Context at your trilogy quote. So,
Ah,
good job.
nice. What percentages did these things win by?
I don't really want to
Can we,
say,
like,
but
have a
this.
look?
Yeah, I mean you can.
Let me go have a look here. So, all right, let me look. So, oh wow, show of the year, The Witcher won by 44.4%. Like that was a huge percentage. The other ones didn't even stand a fucking chance.
No, it wasn't close.
Movie of the year, 1917, 40%. Yeah, none of the others. The only one that came a little bit closer, I guess, was Tenet, but like not even that close.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. And then, the meme of the year was a little bit more split. Like, still SEO Trilogy Quotes won by quite a bit. That's 36%. But then, runner-up was Unity After the Patches, which was 23.9%. So, it's a little bit more split of a pie chart. But, you know, there you go.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Mm.
No, for sure. For sure.
For sure, gamer.
All right. Well, let's get into some news. Let's split this up a bit. Let's get into some
Okay.
news. Let's start with Star Wars. Let's start with Star Wars. Star Wars has had a lot of news over the past few days alone. Disney had some big like shareholder event where they talked about a lot of shit coming out and a lot of things they're working on. Like, couldn't believe how much they announced and revealed. But here we are.
So much shit.
They announced like 10 different Star Wars shows and movies, if not more than that. It's probably like 15
lot,
things.
Mhm.
Like there's going to be a Disney Plus Ahsoka standalone show. That's a thing.
There is.
But the biggest news of all is that Hayden Christensen returns as Darth Vader, joining Ewan McGregor in Obi-Wan Kenobi. The original series begins 10 years after the dramatic events of Revenge of the Sith and is coming to Disney Plus. That's the official announcement from the Star Wars Twitter account.
Yep.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, it is.
Wasn't
how do
he
you
in the
both-
Darth
how do you
Vader
both feel
suit?
about it?
Wasn't Hayden Christensen in the Darth Vader suit in like one of the movies?
Episode 3.
And I'm
Revenge
just
of the Sith.
assuming like that's what he's gonna be. Again, like they're not gonna actually show his face. Like
Oh,
that's
no,
feel
they'll show
like
flash.
they
There'll be
will.
Clone Wars flashbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be flashbacks for sure.
Because it would be used. Why else would you get Hayden Christensen?
It's just kind of weird to refer to it as Darth Vader and not Anakin Skywalker.
Well, because he's
Well, I guess
Darth
because
Vader now. Even
he's Darth
in
Vader,
and out of
yeah.
the suit. Yeah, he is Darth Vader.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I guess
When
it makes sense.
When is that? When is it taking place?
10 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, then that does make sense.
It's just still quite a few years before A New Hope, but a lot more after. Yeah,
My worry is just like they're just gonna milk Star Wars so much, and everyone's gonna get tired of it. Like people were already tired of the main 3 movies. Like when Episode 9 rolled around, everyone was just kind of tired of it. I know Episode 8 also split the fan base, but like 10 different shows, I don't know.
I mean, I'm already really tired of Star Wars. I just
Yeah.
don't like any of it really. But I
Yeah,
guess I'm only really in it now for like stuff like. I mean, I think it's cool that Hayden Christensen's coming back. I
Yeah.
want to see Ewan McGregor. Like that stuff is like, yeah, that's really cool. I just don't give a shit about like anything else. I don't know. I'm a little bit tired of Star Wars, but I guess some stuff I do care about. I don't know, it depends. But I guess, I don't know. Episode 9, I think I just have liked a bit less and less over time. Like, genuinely, this is my hot take here for the podcast that we'll look back on, and I'll probably have changed my opinion on. But my hot take now, after reflection and time to reflect, is that Episode 9 isn't that good, and I actually kind of like The Last Jedi the most out of the sequel films because
You're
it's the most
fucking-
unique and actually
What?
tries to do something interesting.
I don't
Whereas
like
I
any
think
of
J.J.
them.
Abrams was like, oh, let's do epic nostalgia, and honestly, The Rise of Skywalker doesn't make a lot of sense, actually.
Well,
I feel like it
episode
just
9.
lacks-
I just.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Alex.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Go ahead, Brett. I actually don't care about this conversation, so
Well, okay.
I don't have energy for this.
Like JJ for episode 9, like it was gonna be an impossible task to write something because episode 8 wasn't his vision. So I feel like that's more of Kathleen Kennedy's fault for separating the directors and having different visions instead of one single vision.
She produced it terribly. She
Yeah,
produced that
exactly.
trilogy
Yeah,
terribly.
Yeah,
Look at Kevin Feige. He managed to produce 23 films and make it all amazing and pay off at the end.
Yeah, so
That's
for
how you
episode
produce
9,
films.
I feel like it turned out as good as it possibly could have with what happened. But yeah, I don't like any of the new Star Wars movies, to be honest. They're just kind of there.
I just think if you, because I don't entirely like backpedaling, and I feel like JJ with episode 9 decided that, well, it wasn't my vision, and I know there's a part of the fan base that didn't like The Last Jedi, so I'm just gonna like pretend all of it didn't really happen, and like actually we mean this, and actually raise a Palpatine. It's like, I don't know. I just don't. I don't like any of them really, but if I had to pick one, it'd probably be The Last Jedi, just for being unique and
I agree
and
with
ambitious. Despite the fact that there's a lot of the film that I just think is just sort of bad and messy, I think the concept of it and just actually watching it through is like new and interesting, and I think I prefer.
I think I just love Kylo Ren.
I like Kylo Ren a lot as well.
I just love Kylo Ren. In the whole trilogy, in all 3 movies, he's fucking amazing, and he's the best
definitely
part of all 3 movies.
he's probably the only good character from like all of these.
Yeah.
His arc was perfect to me, and I just loved him.
Yeah.
So
Star Wars is weird now though.
yeah, but yeah, I don't. It's not memorable. It's not gonna. I don't know if it'll age well. Will it have like a comeback like the prequels have somehow aged well, and people all of a sudden?
I
love
think the prequels though. I think the sequel trilogy will have a comeback, but it'll be the same way the prequels did. Like the reason the prequels had a comeback is because everyone that watched the prequels as a kid is an adult now, and so we all like. I mean, I think we can all say the prequels suck, but I still kind of love them. Like, I still, like, especially episode 3. Like, I love Hayden Christensen. Like, someone replied to my tweet asking me, like, why do you even care? Yeah, someone said, like, why do you even fucking care about Hayden Christensen coming back? It's just fucking nostalgia. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly why. Like, I know the prequels weren't very good, and I know his acting was stiff, and the writing was bad, but that's my childhood. Like, I grew up seeing Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen as Jedi in Star Wars. Like, that was Star Wars to me. So seeing them come back is huge for me because it's nostalgia. That is really what it is, and that's why a lot of people these days, like, the prequels don't get as much shit because everyone that watched them as a kid is grown up. So it's, you know, it's a different world, and I think it'll be the same, you know, in like, you know, 20 years time, 15 years time with the sequels. I think you'll find a lot of people that grew up watching those will probably have a lot of nostalgia for them, despite them not being really that good. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Maybe.
Yeah, true. It's so weird. But like, I love Revenge of the Sith. It's one of my like favorite Star Wars movies. I think that's
I love
amazing.
it too.
I don't like Phantom Menace, and I don't like Attack of the Clones. Like, I don't like them. But
Attack
Revenge
of
of
the
the
Clones
Sith,
is tough.
fucking love. I love it. And I love Hayden Christensen in it. I love Ewan McGregor in it. They're like Anakin and Obi-Wan, two of my favorite characters. And yeah, like you said, it's childhood as well. My childhood was the prequels, and I grew up with those. And to have Hayden Christensen back again to play that character and have that follow-up, like, I need to see it. I want to see it. When Disney bought Star Wars, the only thing I wanted to see was this. This was what I wanted to see. More than I wanted to see a sequel trilogy, which I was excited about. I was like, just bring Obi-Wan back. Bring Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan. Do that. Do a solo movie. Well, as soon as they talked about, like, they'll do solo movies, I'm like, Obi-Wan. That's all I want. That's all I've wanted.
Literally did a solo movie.
They did a solo movie.
Oh, what a weird,
But this is what I've been waiting for. And I said from the beginning, they have to have, Darth Vader in the show. As soon as they announced the show, I'm like, you have to have Darth Vader in it. There's so many things that need to be concluded and connected between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope with those two characters. Because Obi-Wan only knew him as Anakin that turned into Darth Vader. The man hasn't seen him as a machine, hasn't really made the attempt to, bring him back from the good bring back from the dark to the good. Whereas he's talked about having attempted that and used to think that there was good in him and no longer does, and knows he's more machine now, the man twisted and evil. Like, how does he get to that point? How does he know about this Darth Vader? We need to see that. I can't wait for it. To see flashbacks in the era of the Clone Wars will be very cool as well. And it's Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor. Like, that's going to be fucking awesome. And to see Obi-Wan go through that struggle of really like that, almost like PTSD from like Order 66, and like recover from that and train, and potentially talk to Qui-Gon. Like, there's a lot there, a lot of character stuff.
There is
Anakin. So that's, to me, this is the end of Star Wars for me. This is all I want to see, and once I've seen it, I don't need to watch anymore. I'm done. I'm done with Star Wars after this Obi-Wan show. It's all I want.
I think the one thing I think about Star Wars that still really interests me and that I will still enjoy it is probably video games. I feel like there's something about playing in the Star Wars universe that interests me, and I feel like games can do a lot more with storytelling that's way more interesting. Whereas I feel like these shows and movies that are just trying to do things, like, I don't know, there's just something about video games. Like Jedi Fallen Order I really, really enjoyed more than I enjoyed really anything else that has come out from Star Wars, in recent years. And so I think that's probably, maybe the only avenue I have left to give a shit about Star Wars.
I agree. I feel like Star Wars is definitely better for gaming. Like, that's definitely a good platform, whereas Marvel is honestly good at whatever it does. So I feel like Disney saw that and they're like, let's just greenlight 10 Star Wars shows and like try to copy what they're doing. But video games, like Star Wars 1313, that should have happened, but Disney just canceled like that and then gave their license to EA, which EA messed up with the Battlefront games. But Fallen Order definitely was a good game, so I would definitely like to see. I don't know. I want Respawn to make Star Wars games, but not EA. Like, EA can not touch any of the other stuff.
Hopefully Jedi Fallen Order was like a wake-up call to be like, these games work, so make more single-player, story-driven Star Wars games.
Yeah, but I don't know if any EA studio can do that besides Respawn, because BioWare is just busy with other stuff, and I don't know.
You could get Motive to do it. Like, I mean, they didn't do bad on the Battlefront campaign, but I guess that was because it was such a small part of it.
It was.
So who knows? But like Visceral obviously would have been great, but then they fucking cancelled their game and shut the studio down. So I don't know. We'll see, I guess, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah. All right. So let's. Is there anything else in the Star Wars shows that stood out to you that you want to talk about?
What else was there? Rangers of the New Republic. I don't really care. Although I do like that they're exploring that time period more between episode 6 and 7. I feel like it's an interesting period where you could do a lot of cool stuff. I don't know what else is there. Star Wars Visions, some anime or something. Willow is an original series starring Warwick Davis. Why are you doing that? Who the fuck came up with that? What an odd idea. Ahsoka, Bad Batch, the Cassian Andor. Oh my god, just loads of bollocks. I don't care about any of that actually.
Solo is the only like good new thing.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, well, Solo's like the only thing I'm excited for, and Mandalorian, but
Wait, Solo.
Or not? Wait, am I saying Solo? I'm sorry.
Yeah, what the fuck? I was confused.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
No,
I think you meant like out of everything new that's come out for Star Wars. I was like, what?
No, it's 5:30 in the morning.
The Obi-Wan
That's a hot take, I guess.
It is 5:30.
The Obi-Wan show's the only thing I care about. The Obi-Wan show. Or otherwise, like, I feel like I'll give the Ahsoka show a shot. Like, I'll watch it.
Nah,
like the first
don't
episode.
care.
Okay.
Don't fucking care. It's fucking live action. I don't want it. If it was
well,
animated like Clone Wars style, I'd watch it. But I like seeing Ahsoka in The Mandalorian. Like, honestly, she looks like shit. I don't fucking want this garbage.
Okay.
But that's where I'm at with it. So we can get so much shit on this podcast. People love Star Wars just because it's Star Wars. They're not gonna like this one bit. But there you go. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the Star Wars news, I guess.
That is the Star Wars news. Let's talk about... I want to spend a lot of time on Marvel because there's a lot more to go on. Let's talk about the Game Awards.
The Game Awards, man.
You live streamed the Game Awards, James.
I did.
And I went back and watched your reaction to a few things, not including what won awards, because it was just amazing seeing the world triggered by Last of Us Part 2 winning everything.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Brie Larson announcing that Laura Bailey as Abby won Performance of the Year was just the best. I was so fucking happy. Because I just know there's so many people that were just so angry. Like, oh, this fucking thing's rigged. Why is Brie Larson this SJW doing this? Oh, man.
I feel like they definitely picked Brie Larson, though, for that one. Like, they knew.
I hope so. They've got to have done it on purpose.
Yeah, they knew that would get a reaction.
Oh, it's terrific. I loved it.
Yeah. The big thing, though, like, let's go through first. You tell me, because I haven't watched the whole thing. What were the standout moments in terms of game reveals or trailers or anything like that? There's one big one that I want to talk to you about and spend a bit of time on, but not including that big one I'm talking about that ended it. Were there any other games that stood out to you?
God, honestly, I don't remember. I don't know. I feel like if there was something I'd know about it, I'd remember it, but I don't remember if there was anything big.
I don't think there was anything super big, to be honest. I was expecting like Gotham Knights gameplay or something related to that game again, but we didn't see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. I feel like if there was something huge, like other than the other big thing, then I would have remembered it. But
yeah,
I don't remember.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's talk about that one then.
Okay.
Mass Effect 4? Like, what do you call it? Like,
I don't know.
They're almost making it feel like it is like a Mass Effect 4 rather than a new...
Yeah, well, it seems to be. Like, you've got Liara there at the end, so...
Yeah. Your reaction was priceless. It took you a minute to figure out. But talk us through the trailer. Like, what did we see?
You don't see a lot, but you do see like a lot of shots of space. I'm sure. I mean, Ethan's done a breakdown, so there's that. But you get all those shots and everything, and then going across. What planet is she on? Is she on like Earth, and it's all fucked, or is it just not? Because I don't know. I feel like Ethan did suggest that on Discord, but I'm not sure.
I mean, it could be a direction they go in, right? Like, they could go in any direction with this.
Yeah, they could do.
Because if they're really trying to bring back the Shepard era and that side of things, which I think you kind of have to do after you... Like, when you have a franchise like that that's focused on one character and you're in that character, but the universe is so expansive and so amazing, that you're like, well, let's move on from that character, but we've still got a great universe here, let's build on it. And then your first follow-up is an absolute disaster.
Yeah, and they left the Milky Way. They were like, we've got all of this lore, all of these planets, all these characters. Let's just go to Andromeda for some fucking reason. Where there's nothing there. It's so weird as well. Like, instead of like building up an entirely, like a huge thing about Mass Effect is the way they do world building and building up this lore and this universe. So it's just like, there's so much life and it's so rich. And then they go to Andromeda and there's one race that lives there. And they're really uninteresting. And that's it. And it's just like... why did you leave this huge rich universe that you'd built up for this bullshit? So the fact they're going to be going back, I assume, to the Milky Way galaxy and what we know with all of this rich lore and different species and stuff is great. That's really great. But I guess what the story's about, who knows?
Well, it feels like they're keeping it. Well, obviously Liara's in it, so that's a Shepard trilogy character. So well, you had in Andromeda, the one thing they did carry over was voice notes from Liara, which was pretty interesting. But yeah, beyond that, not a lot. So it's cool to see. Obviously, in the background as well, you've got 3 characters standing around by the ship they were on, that are just like hanging about, waiting for her. I guess we can't tell who they are, whether they're any other characters that were like part of the Normandy crew or not. Also, we don't know when this is set because obviously Liara being fucking... What race is she again? Yeah, that's the one. She can live like much longer than other races, so we don't actually know when this is set. Like, how long after Mass Effect 3 is this? But she's looking for N7 armor. Like, there's a reason for that, right?
Yeah, you'd think so. Like, whether it's related to Shepard or not, who knows? Yeah. But it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. It provokes a lot of questions. Like, are they trying to find out what happened to Shepard. Is Shepard like, is he still about, and are, like, they're finding traces of him, or like what's going on, or is this entirely different?
Yeah.
Who knows? But it's interesting for sure, and it's clear they're going back to the roots of Mass Effect. And I believe they did say at the beginning of the year, or whenever they announced, it was when they announced the remasters, the Mass Effect like trilogy collection thing, that this game, I believe they said, was like they've got a team of people that know the franchise that are working on it. So I guess that bodes well. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was exciting.
Would you be mad if Shepard came back?
No, I wouldn't be mad.
At this point, it's just like whatever.
Yeah, just do it. It's fine.
Enough
care.
time's passed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether that's a thing people would care about, because obviously I only played Mass Effect recently, like 4 years ago was the first time I played all three.
Yeah,
so
right. True.
To me, it wouldn't seem crazy to just bring back Shepard, just keep it going. But maybe for people that played them as they came out, would be like, it was way more of a big thing. It was like this definitive point where like Shepard did what he did, and either he died or he didn't. Like, you don't really know, and that's sort of the point. So I don't know, but for me, I mean, I wouldn't really care if they brought Shepard back. I think it would be kind of cool. It just depends how they do it, because obviously, like, Shepard's a created character as well. So will he be a character? Will you play as Shepard, or will you just like find Shepard and then like, what's he gonna look like, or she? So, you know,
yeah, cool.
Yeah, I don't know,
True.
but it's interesting. And like with this, obviously, we don't see any sort of protagonist. So are we playing as Liara, or is Liara a side character? Because it looks like the main focus of this is like Liara looks like the leader here, and her like crew is in the background. So like, what are they doing with this Mass Effect? Are they going to go for like another?
Well, I don't think you
character,
can do that, because you know Mass Effect is inherently an RPG.
Mm-hmm. They could go more linear though. You never know, like a Witcher, where you play as a completely preset character. It'd be
true. They could
a lot different.
Excuse me. I wouldn't want it to be Liara.
I wouldn't necessarily want it.
Yeah.
But they could do.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. I mean, this could be like, this like trailer could be showing events leading up to when you start the game. So like, this doesn't necessarily need to be like illustrating what the game is about. It could just literally be a teaser to sort of lead up to what the game will be. So,
and I mean, things can definitely change. Like, they didn't put a year, like, sure. Right? Like, it's not coming out next year or something. So yeah, just
a teaser. So just coming soon, I think they said. So
I've actually never played Mass Effect.
Oh my god!
I was gonna ask, like, you need to change that.
Yeah, no, I'm waiting for the remaster to come out.
Fair enough.
I'll play that on PC. I mean, I definitely
it's an amazing trilogy.
Well, I know when the third one came out, it got a lot of hate, but I'm guessing people, you know, again, with anything with time, like, people just like it more and more now. So
I loved it at the time.
Oh, okay.
I think people still hate it, but I liked it.
Yeah, I was one of the few at the time that was like a defender of the ending. I was like, I'm fine with it. Like,
yeah, I understand why people dislike it. Like, when I was playing it, I was like, okay, I get it, because Mass Effect 2 handles it so well. It's like, everything you do over the course of the game leads up to the end, whereas with 3, it's like nothing you do really matters, because as soon as you get to the end, it just gives you a choice that you would get anyway, so none of your actions across the game matter, and like, I get that. I get why people don't like that, but
do you guys like honestly hate the new one, or is it just kind of different? Yeah, like, do you hate Andromeda?
I tried like 4 or 5 separate times to play it, and I couldn't get more than an hour and a half in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played the whole thing, and I think I enjoyed it much more at the time than I do in hindsight. Like, I never want to play it again. It was it just didn't get anything right. It overwhelms you with like bullshit as well, and unnecessarily makes like worlds open, when it was much more interesting when they were like hub based or linear in the originals. So yeah, it's just not very good. I think it's just sort of mind-numbingly average. Is probably what I would say.
Agreed.
I literally typed it in on Google, Mass Effect Andromeda, and people also ask, is Mass Effect Andromeda that bad? That's the top question.
What does Google say? Is it that bad?
It is largely not a fun game to play. The missions are boring, the action repetitive, but for a certain kind of person, and I count myself among them, for better and for worse, the story is just enough to merit the investment.
That's so weird. Imagine playing games like that where you're like, the game's not very good, but like there's this tiny bit that kind of, I guess, makes it worth my time. It's like, just go play something else. Like, you don't need to justify it. Just go play something else. What the fuck are you doing?
That was an article from Forbes.com. So yeah.
Okay, thanks Forbes.
On to, I guess, if there's nothing else on the Game Awards, like there's only really Mass Effect, and then obviously the awards themselves.
Yeah.
Wait. Well, Master Chief isn't Fortnite. I don't know how you can just skip over that, Tyler.
I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking
They did
about
Red
this.
versus Blue in the trailer. Yeah, that was cool. I got hyped, and then it was really cringe.
Oh god, I'm not talking about this.
So made me
They said,
sad.
well, they've announced Halo for fall 2021, which honestly is sooner than I expected.
That's about when I expected, like a whole year.
Yeah,
Like
they
a
need
year delay.
at least a year.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like they've changed direction that much. Like we saw some multiplayer screenshots, and like some of it looks better and stuff, but like you see, like it looks like Halo 5, and they've also changed the art style again a bit. Like it,
They just can't like settle on a vision. It's just a mess. Like they're constantly switching people in and out of the studio. People are leaving and quitting. It's just even with another year, it's like the story's already set in the direction. Like you can't change it that much. So
yeah, you've got to restart this fucking game. Scrap it. It's bad.
But
just start again.
They've already spent so much money on it. Like that they're not going to. So
well, it's rumored to be the most expensive video game ever made.
Yeah, and it does not look like it.
No. Oh god.
Obviously, graphics aren't everything, but like the art style, just no.
It's just it looked like that demo was such a mess, and these new screenshots, it looks. I mean, to be fair, like I say, it looks like Halo 5. It looks a bit more like Reach, I think, which is better, but like still. Like I don't know, and they've said as well, like they've outright admitted that like the customization, like a lot of it's gonna, because the multiplayer for Halo Infinite is free to play, so they've said like, well, a lot of the stuff in it, obviously it's gonna be monetized because it has to make money, and then like, but there'll still be, you know, a decent amount for players to collect as they're playing through the game, and it's like, oh god, I can't. This is not what Halo's about. This is just, it's dead. Like clearly it's dead, and they just don't get it.
This screenshot right here kind of looks like Halo 4. A lot.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah, it does look a bit like Halo 4. It's not quite like a Halo 5, but it's a bit. It's maybe a bit more Reach-esque because it's just like.
I'm done with it. I'm done with Halo.
You're done with Assassin's Creed. You're done with Halo. You're just done with everything.
I'm just done with this shit.
Kingdom Hearts is the only franchise that won't hurt us.
No, Kingdom Hearts can never hurt me. I'll stick to that.
Oh my god, Melody Memory was so fucking good. Did you finish? Have you finished the story?
No, not at all, because I'm busy fucking finishing Valhalla, and then I'll play. Fuck. And then I'm gonna go finish Final Fantasy VII because I'm like halfway through that, and that's fucking amazing. And then I'll play Melody of Memory.
Oh yeah.
I saw your Final Fantasy stream. That did look really good. The actual game. I definitely need to get it.
Great game.
It's my game of the year, and it's so good. It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's great. It's so great. Well, let's get back to our awards and the AsAlways awards.
Yeah.
Let's go to 3 more categories.
What's next?
Next thing is Guest of the Year. And the nominees are Robin Gaming, Colin Moriarty, Conversations, Walshy and Founded Scarab, and Brett, aka UbiCentral.
I don't even know what happened on that podcast that I got voted for, but you know, I'll vote for myself.
I think it was the first one of the year, I think.
Yeah, it was the first.
Oh well, I'm gonna vote for myself.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, that makes sense.
James and I can't vote on this because we can't have favorites.
I'm not gonna vote for, but I'm gonna vote very strongly against Conversations.
That's
agreed. I agree.
I think everyone would agree with that.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that. Now the winner is by quite a bit, with 39.8% of the votes. The winner for Guest of the Year is first time guests Walshy and Founded Scarab. So,
nice.
congratulations to those boys. They
No.
really
Listen, I said I love this community, but I hate you guys now. Fuck this.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
You know what time it is? It's 5:45 in the morning, and this community just does not care about me anymore.
Now, Taylor, I'm gonna let you finish, but no, no, it's not. But Beyonce had the.
Congrats, all shit.
What the fuck? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well
it's
done, guys.
those boys. They did campaign for it. They were pushing for it. And they've both had great years on YouTube and making content, and it's Walsh's breakout year. So
Yeah, no, they're
good on
amazing.
them. Well deserved. Happy for them. Congratulations, Walshy and Fountain Scarab. Guest of the year 2020.
I think they won because they're just us. I think that's probably what did it.
Yeah, that's
It was
what
just
makes
us
sense.
talking to ourselves. So
Yeah, that's true. Just younger versions of ourselves.
yeah, it makes sense.
At least
Amazing.
conversations didn't win.
Yeah,
It's true,
God.
100%. And Eddie sent me this fucking, like, I finally got this thing. So
Oh yeah.
this is, my brother goes, like, a couple of hours ago, he checked the mail, and he goes, and he comes back and he goes, did anyone order something under the name Kangaroo Jack? and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who the fuck would order something named Kangaroo Jack? And it probably took me 5 more seconds. I sat there, we're all in silence, and they go, fucking Eddie, give it to me, that's mine. It's just fucking Eddie. I just know straight away. And I got the Conversation Cyberpunk custom PlayStation 4 case and cover. And they wrote, Tyler, you're a great part of the community. We always want to give recognition to the little guys that make up our fan base. Kind regards, Eddie and Chips. So, thanks, boys, for...
it's really cool, though. There's a lot of detail on it. Like,
Yeah,
I read
saw
through
that.
all of it on
I
stream.
saw it on Twitter and like zoomed in, and there's like they put a lot of work into that.
They really did. Like, you've got all like the warnings and like the disclaimers on the back of it and everything, and it's just this detailed thing. Oh, it's great.
Now, it might just
really
be for
good.
mine, but they drew in pen penis ejaculating as well.
That's just yours, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
just
not on
mine,
mine.
like right there. You'll see there.
That's a
on the
collector's
fist.
edition.
Yeah, it's collector's edition. And then they sign the front like, I give a fuck. Like I give a fuck
Yeah.
or ask for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thanks Eddie and Sheps. Anyway,
you.
the next category is podcast of the year.
Ooh,
Podcast of the year. The nominees are the AsAlways podcast, episode 121, Katarino cheats on everyone and James gets threatened by a real-life Templar.
That's a good one.
The Clubhouse podcast, episode 85, Welcome to Cumhouse. The AsAlways podcast, episode 122, with Robin Gaming, AC Valhalla, in-depth discussion, Fate
well, I already
of
know
the
what's won.
PS5, and did Ballsack 47, Fuck Riley Reid, Would We Turn to Porn, the Clubhouse podcast, episode 87. And what do you think won, James?
I swear to God, if that Assassin's Creed one has won, I'm gonna be so mad. I mean, it was a good podcast. It's the most viewed. Don't get me wrong. It's got merit.
It's the most viewed podcast of all time for us on YouTube, at least. And it was a great show. It deserves to be nominated. I thought the best AsAlways podcast for the year was definitely Katarina cheats on everyone, James by Real Life Templar. That was just fucking hilarious. It was an amazing
just really
episode.
funny. It was like Clubhouse meets AsAlways podcast. It was just us talking shit. It's good fun.
It was a great time. That's a highlight. And my other favorite would be the Jibble Say Fuck Riley Reid was just made. Cumhouse was amazing, but that was just its own thing. It was like just this own event that was wild and just insanity. My least favorite of that would be the Valhalla one, but the winner is AC Valhalla in-depth discussion. AsAlways podcast episode 122 with Robin Gaming.
They just saw Valhalla in the title. They were like, "That one, it's that one." I've not seen it, but it's Assassin's Creed.
We knew.
Fucking hate you guys. You're all retards. Sorry, you're all R words. Jesus Christ.
Thank you. I was about to correct you. They're R words. They're not retards.
They are. They're fucking cunting R words. Is what they are.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah. Now, the third category we'll go through right now is video of the year. Actually, we're going to go through 4 for a reason, because we're going to do 3 after, and then we're just going to do game of the year right at the end. So, video of the year 2020, where we pick 4 nominations, 1 from each of the 4 pillars. The first one is The Real Life History of the Assassin Order by myself. The Witcher 3 Retrospective by James. Mass Effect, A Galaxy of World Building, Complete Trilogy Recap by Ethan. Assassin's Creed 2 retrospective by George. And the winner is,
Yeah.
by an absolute fucking landslide, for the second year in a row, it's James with his Witcher 3 retrospective. So,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Yeah.
I'd
That's what I'm
like
talking
to give
about,
myself a pat on the
boys.
back for coming in
Thank
runner-up. My video was voted second.
Oh, really?
Yep, sure was. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Real
Okay.
life
I
history
wanna-
of Assassin
I wanna give a
Order.
shout out,
It's a pretty good video. It's not 5 hours long like the
Pretty
Mass
good
Effect
video.
one. But yeah.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to George for making my video again this year that I did last year. So thanks for that, putting it out again.
Yep.
Sadly you didn't win, obviously, because I put out a new video, but understandable. But also Ethan's video is fucking sick, and he put so much work into that. So
He really did.
check that out if you haven't already. The Mass Effect one, it's huge. If you enjoyed my fucking Witcher one, you'll enjoy that one because it's longer. So.
I don't
What could be better?
understand how both of you can make videos that long. Like, well, I know 3.5 hours isn't your usual video, and his is 5 hours. But like, how? I can't.
I don't understand until I've done it, and then it's done, and I'm like, it made sense.
But
the process made sense. But like, if someone had told me beforehand, like, go make a 3.5 hour Witcher 3 video, I'd be like, no, that's insane.
Well, yeah,
I'm not doing that.
obviously going into it, you're not. But did you write a script for that entire video?
I did, yeah.
How? I just don't
Hang on, let me
understand.
get it. I'll tell you how many pages. long it is. Hold
Like,
on.
I get to 2 pages or 3, and then that's the max I go. I'm like, no more pages. This is enough.
There it
No
is.
more
King's
pages.
RPGs, right.
I've
It's
found the max
such a
pages.
big script. It takes a while to load, so I just have to give it a second
Oh,
because it takes a
Jesus.
while to load all the pages. Just give it a
Stupid,
minute.
this is
It's
dumb.
just
So
going
dumb.
through. It's still going.
What the
Is that it? Did it finish? It's 64 pages.
Can you?
What? Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not.
It took me like a month to
Nonsense.
write.
Does it say how many words? Like, can you see?
I can check. Yeah, hold on. Tools, word count. Words. It's 31,996 words.
Did
So-
you record that all in
Absolutely
like
fuck
one session? Obviously breaks.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
one session. It took me 6 hours.
Were you covered in
through it all.
sweat?
I think so. My throat really hurt by the end of it.
Well, yeah, I would imagine. My throat hurts after like a 5-minute video. So
It was insane. I actually can't even believe I made that video. I can't believe it exists and I made it, to be honest. It's actually insane. It's so fucking mad. I'm never going to make another video like that for a while, but I'm sure I'll do another one eventually.
you can do the Mass Effect trilogy,
Yeah.
but Fishy
Oh my
did.
God.
So
Yeah, I'll just copy him. I'll just do the same thing.
literally just re-upload his video and then boom.
Yeah, just like
Or
George did with mine.
Just copy his script and then say
Yeah,
it yourself.
exactly.
Yeah, do that.
Exactly, that's what I'll do. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for voting for me. I appreciate it. It made all the work worth it. It was a depressing
Congratulations.
3 months, and
Yep.
but it was worth it in the end. So thank you.
It was I remember it didn't get that many views at first, and then
Mm.
it just picked up. I
Yeah.
can speak.
Thank God.
Yeah, it's always weird when videos do that, where it's like it's a slow burn, but then
Mm-hmm.
just like all of a sudden when you look back at it, it's like, wait, it has this many views now. I don't know. I kind of love when that happens.
Yeah, it was at first I got it got to 5,000 and then it just stopped and I was like, what a waste of my fucking time. But then it passed 100k and I was like, okay, everything's fine, everything's alright, that's alright. It's kind of sad because my second video, my sequel to it, The King's Heart, The Witcher 3 Hearts of Stone retrospective, is only on 15k, which is fine, that's a decent amount of views, and I didn't work on it for as long, it didn't take me nearly as long.
I mean,
It took
that's
me
still
maybe
an hour
3
long.
weeks. But it is an hour long, yeah.
Well, that
Um,
one's sponsored at least, so it makes up for it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. So it doesn't matter a great deal. Although to be fair, I prefer the views to the money anyway. I'd
Yeah.
rather it could be with the original The Witcher 3 retrospective is limited ads, so that's pretty sad. But there you go.
Is there
It's just
nudity
how
or
it is
something in the game
sometimes.
that you showed?
Well, I mean, I made sure to blur all of it, so I don't really know. And they don't tell you, they don't give you a
Yeah,
timestamp to
no,
be
you
like, this is what caused it. So it's 3 hours and 30 minutes. I don't know. I have no idea. It could have been a 2-second clip. I just don't even know what did it. So there's no way of knowing. But whatever.
Yeah.
I'll live, I guess.
YouTube's still like messed up with all that. I got a content ID claim on a like Watch Dogs live stream, and it got like 40,000 views, but I made no money off of it because it was claimed for a Power Rangers song. There's no Power Rangers song in Watch Dogs. So I just
What the fuck?
Thankfully, I disputed it, and then I had to wait 30 days because they didn't like fight back, and then I got it. Got the money.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's just like
That makes sense.
the random ass copyright claims that make no sense. I can't stand, and it always happens on live streams for me, never on like actual videos.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't get a lot of copyright claims, but I do get limited ads sometimes, and it's really irritating because I never know what caused it. Like one of my second most viewed video, where I'm like ranking the Assassin's Creed games from like 2019. It's got 1.3 million views, but it's got limited ads, so I made like no money on it. Damn. So, and that was the only reason I fucking made it. I didn't make it because I had a passion for it. I made it to make money, so I didn't get anything. So
Yeah, I'd do another one.
whatever, I guess.
But do it on that tier list website, and then like it's even easier. Just drop it in with the picture, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't have to put any effort into it. I can just sit there and be a dick. That'd be good.
Exactly.
Maybe I'll do that actually. Oh, I can do that for the advent calendar. Let me just like throw something else out of it, and I can just do that.
Yeah.
Everyone will love it. That'd be sick. All right. What's the next category?
The next category is Blunder of the Year.
Oh.
And the nominees for the Blunder of the Year are James Gets COVID. That was a bit of a blunder.
A bit of a blunder.
God. James got coronavirus. That was a thing.
Yeah.
Ubisoft's culture problem.
Oh no.
Bit of a blunder. Just a little bit of a blunder, I guess. Yeah, a bit of a mistake.
Just a little bit of one. Cyberpunk 2077's release, as in the constant delays, but
but now there's
current
it's like the second thing.
Disaster! What a shit show. Halo Infinite gameplay reveal. That was a fucking disaster. There was some serious blunders this year. And then you've got Marvel's Avengers game, which also disaster. All of those, complete disasters. Complete disasters.
I'm going to take a guess and say that Ubisoft probably won this one.
I think that was probably the biggest blunder of the year. Would you agree, James?
I felt like that was quite a large, sizable blunder, yeah.
Especially within our community. And you're right, the winner for Blunder of the Year is Ubisoft's culture problem.
Yeah. Thanks to Ubisoft.
So congratulations to Ubisoft.
The only award you won this year was this one.
was for being awful.
I don't think they've won an award in a few years, to be honest. But yeah, now they do.
So they'll be happy. Yeah. We'll send it to you in the mail. To the Montreal PR that love us. That's why they reply to my emails when I'm trying to get Damian in the podcast. So it's
congratulations.
Fine. So it's fine. It's fine. It's so fine. So congratulations to you. But speaking of blunders, Cyberpunk's release, James, what the fuck's going on? I haven't played Cyberpunk at all. I got a review code 6 hours before the game release.
Oh my god,
like
that's better than me. I got a fucking review code like 13 hours after it came out. They just sent me one. I already bought the fucking game, you cunts. I redeemed it anyway.
I didn't get a review copy.
Oh man,
that's just not fair.
Yeah, well maybe you should make maybe it should be Cyberpunk Central.
Yeah, Cyberpunk Central.
Yeah.
CD Central.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be good. You could make Gwent videos.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
But yeah, I
and they're like, can you just quickly sign the NDA? I'm like, fuck off! By the time I even download it, the game's out, you fucks. What am I gonna fucking reveal? Oh
that's
god.
Funny.
Stupid. They said either you can sign the NDA and send it back now, or we'll just give it to you tomorrow. I'm like, I just didn't respond. And then by the time I woke up the next day, they'd sent me just a regular code. I'm like, thanks. Fuck off.
James, before you go into detail, I just want to say that's their first mistake, was this whole like review embargo thing, not giving reviewers codes on like consoles ahead of time, and not showing any footage of the Xbox One or PS4, like the base consoles. They were definitely really sketchy, which is a shame because CD Projekt is known for being like community based, so they definitely fucked up there. But also the game,
definitely.
They did it because the game runs like ass.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't. It reminds me a lot of when Unity was coming out, and we never saw any like proper footage, any like early access stuff, and it was all like running on these really high-end PCs and everything.
Yeah.
And the game comes out and it just runs like complete shit. And even like playing on the PS5, like obviously the way the game runs is good. Like it doesn't run bad. Like I'm not getting frame rate drops and shit, but it is such a fucking mess. And I know a lot of people have been lucky and they've had like fine experiences, and it's happened to me before sometimes as well. Like Kingdom Come Deliverance, I know for a fact it was a buggy mess when it released, but I didn't have a problem with it. Like my entire playthrough, I got some bugs, but overall like it was fine. And so I understand that sometimes people just have playthroughs of these buggy games where they get kind of lucky with it. But the fact of the matter is, Cyberpunk is fucked, and Jesus Christ, I was so. In my time playing through it, and I probably put in about 6 hours in before I decided that I just didn't want to play any more of it, and I'm just going to wait for patches and the next gen release, because I can't judge the game based on this. It's just a fucking mess. The issues that I had was, so a big one was lighting just spazzing out all the time, would just like start flickering and flashing. Shadows not rendering in, so draw distance was terrible. As you'd be like moving along, you'd see shadows spawning in front of you. Cars and people popping in all over the place. Everything just being really blurry, textures and like the actual like high res models of things not loading in. So like I'd be driving down the road and cars would be driving towards me, and they'd just be these fucking squares that would just like not load into their proper design for like, you know, a couple of seconds. Switching between weapons, my weapon wouldn't load in time, so I'd switch the gun and my player would be holding nothing, like my character would be holding nothing, and then it would just spawn in, like it would phase into existence. Lighting not rendering properly until you get close enough, and then there was bigger ones, like I called in my car and it just drove straight through a building, like phased through it, and when it came out the other side it was crumpled to shit and had no doors. And that was a fucking mess, and then it was just like that every single time I tried to call it in. I had like, when I went up to a car, like it just despawned in front of me, and you had like the NPC sitting in midair, and then they despawned, and it was just fucking insane. You've got like just random glitches of like people spazzing out or like clothing spazzing out and shit, and then I had so many crashes, and like it caused me to replay like the same quest about 3 times, and by the end of it I was like, I just can't fucking do this. This game's fucked. I can't play it anymore, so I had to give up.
Fuck.
So yeah, it's been a mess for me.
For me on PC, it's like literally the same thing basically, where like lighting and shadows and textures are just like they'll pop in and pop out, but they're also like super low res sometimes, even though like I'm playing on pretty high quality. And then also just like performance, like I'll get 30 to 40 FPS on high settings. It's not maxed out, and I'm not using ray tracing. I have a decent like high-end computer, so that was weird. And then yeah, like every time I'll call in my car, it like drives into the ground, so I can't get inside of it. It's literally just in the ground. So yeah, sometimes I'll jump over an object and my character just dies. And yeah, there's enemies just that will stare at me.
Oh man,
I don't know. And yeah, I've had to replay a few quests because it just like won't load in properly. It's on PC for me too. It's just, it's a mess.
That is insane. It's so weird. Oh, there was this other time I was trying to do this quest, and the quest wouldn't complete. Like I'd done it, and I couldn't progress any further. It just wouldn't complete the quest. It was like, go talk to this guy, and like I go talk to him, but like I'd already done the conversation. The quest just wasn't moving on to the next thing, and so I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And then I quit the game. I loaded the game back up. It fixed it, but all of my icons and display changed color, so everything that was like white and yellow before just were red for some reason, and I have no idea why. It was so strange, but that was, you know, one of the many issues.
Did you actually get to the heist mission? Like, not getting into spoilers, but like it's the hotel, and then you go in there with Jackie. Okay, because for me that's when the game actually like starts picking up, like story wise. It took me a while to get into it. If I was having like all those issues at first like you were, yeah, I'd probably stop too, because for me the story just wasn't that good at first. It took me a while to get into.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have been saying, is that the story really picks up the further you get in. It's like, yeah, maybe if I didn't have the bugs I would have stuck with it to get to when it gets good or whatever, but I had so many bugs and it just didn't hook me that I was like, I don't need to play this. Like, I don't need to waste my time with this. I'll go do something else, because that's just how it was. Like, I just didn't feel that interested in it. Like, at that point, like, there wasn't a story. And I'm sure like there would have been, and I'm sure it would get better, and like I want to experience that eventually when the game works, but it's just not at the point where I can do that. And on top of that, like it just didn't like this isn't really a spoiler, but like the life paths are kind of fucking pointless. Like they open up different dialogue sometimes, like that's cool, but like it literally is like 10 minutes, and then it will just do this big time jump, and it's 6 months later, and then you've got the exact same game as everyone else, and it's like. That's not really what I expected.
Yeah, and also, like, you can't, as far as I know, you can't change your character's appearance later on. Like, that's your character. You can't, like, change your hairstyle or anything like that. There's no, like, car shops. Like, people will text you, like, oh, I got this car for sale. But there's, like, 5 different people that will have cars for sale. And you have to go through the menu and, like, look through it separately. It's just, I don't know. I feel like CD Projekt would have been way better at this. I know Cyberpunk is obviously completely different from the Witcher series, but I don't know. I'm just kind of disappointed in a lot of the RPG elements.
It feels very bare bones. It feels like
it sounds like a fucking disaster, guys. It sounds like a fucking disaster.
Yeah, it's weird. I just don't understand how this game isn't being completely shit on. I mean, it is in some regards. Like, it's getting a lot of shit, but I think that it's being praised way more than it should be. Like, if this exact same game was released by Ubisoft, you know it wouldn't be getting nearly as much praise.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's not good enough. But because it's CD Projekt Red, I feel like people just really want to defend it more, want to convince themselves that no, it's fine. And I think a lot of people have been so excited for this. Like, I know I've felt this way before. When you're really excited for something and you play it and it's not good,
but you're
still trying to convince yourself.
Yeah.
You're like, no, it's fine. I'll push through. I like this thing and I like this thing about it. And it's like, give it a few weeks maybe, and maybe people will come around. But
I mean,
it is fucked in the state that it's in.
Like, I'm about 25 to 30 hours in, and the gameplay also just. It's okay, but I don't know. It's just the controls in first person are so weird, and I don't know how to describe it. It's just clunky for a first person shooter. I don't know if that makes sense, but it just doesn't feel like it doesn't flow as nice as it should. And the only thing that's keeping me going is the story. A lot of the side quests are actually really good, and the main story is really good. So that's just what's keeping me going personally.
Okay.
But yeah,
I can. Well, at least that's good.
I can admit the game is like it's not that good. Like again, the only thing that's keeping me going is the story, and I hope when they patch everything, obviously it'll hopefully be a bit better. But even then, like the game for an RPG is just. I was hoping that CD Projekt would push the genre forward like they did with Witcher 3, but they just I don't know. It's just another open world game, to be honest.
Yeah, it feels like it's a bit lacking in some ways. Like I remember opening the map and it just kind of felt like, I don't know, just like there wasn't much there. Like there's like too much on screen, but also nothing at the same time. Like it's weird. Like it's cluttered with icons, but I also just felt like the world everything like it felt small and felt very like linear. Like I didn't feel like it made sense for the game to even be open world almost. Like I don't know, it just didn't give me that same Witcher vibe. And obviously I know it's a different game, but you would expect them to utilize the feeling of exploration and scope like the way that they did in The Witcher, where, you know, when you're dropped into Vellum for the first time and you go to your first town and you pick up the notice board, like notices, and then you've got some quests to do and like you build it up and you explore the world. Cyberpunk just kind of drops you into it and throws shit at you, and like I just felt so overwhelmed when I was first in Night City. It was just so odd, and like I also felt such a disconnect with V, because, you know, I did the Nomad life path, and so you start out, V doesn't know anything about Night City, and neither do you, but then obviously you play the first 10 minutes, and that's all the life path is, and then it does 6 months later, and then V knows everything, and you've got an apartment, and you're in Night City, you've already made a little bit of a name for yourself, and like, I'm like, I don't know anything, I don't know how any of this shit works, I don't know any of the lore, why does the character know way more than me now, without telling me about it, and I just felt like lost.
They don't really do a good job explaining like the hacking. All that stuff was super confusing to me. I didn't understand it. But then eventually, again, I just like kind of learned. But for Witcher 3, like they had 3 games to kind of perfect that, and then Cyberpunk, this is their first take of like they've never had cars in a video game or guns, so this is all new to them. But obviously that doesn't excuse all the problems. Like this game has been in development for so long. and it's had so many delays. So it is unfortunate that they just kind of dropped the ball. Like they were supposed to be a company that you could just like always rely on, like Rockstar Games. But now after this, like if they make a Witcher 4, like people will obviously be hyped, but they're going to be cautious about it.
Yeah, it almost feels like they've become, like, honestly, Cyberpunk feels kind of like a Bethesda game. Like, just buggy as shit and, you know, not really that good, but also kind of people love it anyway. I don't know. But I feel like Bethesda sort of do it better. It's weird. I just don't think Cyberpunk was that good. It's not even close to being, like... honestly, I think it's shit. I'd go as far as to say I think it's actually kind of shit.
Wow.
I
just think it's garbage.
Rockstar should have made this game, like the open world and stuff. I think they would have done it a lot better. And then CD probably should have just stuck to like more of a fantasy, like, I don't know, just something else.
Yeah, I mean, the slower pace of The Witcher as well,
stick to The Witcher. Go make a Witcher game.
I mean, they definitely are going to make another one, let's be honest.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. I've not been excited for Cyberpunk really at all. I've just not something that's ever interested me. And Witcher 3, I only played this year as the first CD Projekt Red game that I played. And I was like, I mean, I'll play Cyberpunk. I'm sure it'll be good when it comes out, but I just had no anticipation for it. And even when I got this copy, I'm like, thank God I didn't pay money for this.
I'm so sad I paid money for it, to be honest.
I've, finishing Valhalla, and I'm like, I'm going to go finish Final Fantasy 7, and then I'm going to go play Kingdom Hearts, Melody of Memory, and then I'm going to play Spider-Man. Then I'll play Cyberpunk, and hopefully enough patches there that it's at least fucking playable, because I just don't want to fucking deal with that. It sounds awful. And it's so awful. Long, and I'm like, I'm not playing a fucking 100-hour game again. Fuck that.
Yeah. Fuck and the thing is as well, like, you know what I'm like with these sorts of games, like, I will power through and play almost anything. Like, I really will. Yeah. So the fact that I've stopped playing this game, it kind of speaks to how fucked it is. Because I don't stop playing games. I don't. Like, I will just play anything, especially really big games. Like, I will always just play them, but I just couldn't do it. It's kind of it's kind of crazy, honestly. I've shocked myself.
It sounds terrible. It sounds disaster. What a disaster.
They don't even have like an official PS5 or Xbox One Series X and S.
Yeah, that was the weird part. Like I went to download it on the PS5, and then it goes and then had like the PS4 game similar next. I'm like, wait, it's not a PS5 game? What the fuck?
Nope. Not yet.
It doesn't have a PS5 version. That's mental.
It's crazy. And on top of like all the issues that we're getting, like people playing on the base PS4 or base Xbox One, it's a disaster. Like the thing runs at like 15 frames a second sometimes. It's just a mess. It's a nightmare. So,
God.
Yeah, Jesus.
Well, that's awful. And I feel bad for those people that just were waiting for so long and they got this, and
Yeah, thank God we have so many other good games this year, though.
So many. So what a great year of games. We'll get to that in just a moment, but we've got to go through 3 more categories before we get to the Game of the Year category, James. Which is most anticipated of 2021 categories, our 3 of those. The first being most anticipated game of 2021, which the nominees are Horizon Forbidden West, God of War 5, Hogwarts Legacy, Kena the Bridge of Spirits, and Far Cry 6. Brett, what's your most anticipated game of 2021?
Far Cry 6. No, I'm just kidding. That's just a joke. Probably Horizon, just because now that they have a sequel, they can just improve on some of the mistakes of the first game, and I'm just excited to see where the story goes. I think God of War is obviously going to be a good game too. Both of these are PlayStation exclusives, which is kind of funny, but like God of War and Horizon are definitely probably my top 2, but I just think I'm more excited to see what Horizon does, and when they showed off footage, it looked so good. So for me, it's Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah. It's a good call. James, what about you?
I'm really looking forward to Kena Bridge of Spirits, because I think it looks really unique and new and interesting, and it's something that I'm quite excited for. But I wouldn't say, hey man, I'm toiling. I just play all the new AAA games like Horizon. If something is new and different, I don't like it, man. Not doing doing it,
But
man.
don't pretend you're
That's
just really
you.
fucking edgy. You're like, yeah, Keen and Bridges Spirits.
Oh, but then this one time, Celeste was nominated for Game of the Year, and then I decided I'd play it because I'm cool and I play the funny indie games too.
You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, but yeah, I was
Go
gonna
on.
say I'm excited for it more than I'm anticipating it. So it's not like a super anticipated like, oh, I can't wait to see this and this. It's gonna be super interesting. Like I'm just kind of like excited for it. So I thought I'd mention that. But I think honestly, most anticipated game, as much as like I can't wait to find out what happens next in Horizon and God of War, Hogwarts Legacy for me is a big one because one, I love Harry Potter, but also I just can't wait to see what this game does. Like, what kind of scale is it? Like, where do they go?
Yeah.
Like, I know we know it's an RPG, but how far do they delve into that genre? How does it play? All of that stuff. I'm anticipating that most because I know the least about it probably. Whereas I know if Horizon Forbidden West is going to build off of the original in a really cool way. Story-wise, I'm super interested. Same with God of War. Obviously, it'll build off of it in an interesting way, but where does the story go? Those are interesting. But with Hogwarts Legacy, I just don't know anything about it. So I think that's why I'm anticipating that one the most.
Also, like, WB is a really good development studio and publisher. Like Mortal Kombat, Shadow of War, Injustice, the Batman games.
Shadow of War is bad, though.
The Lego games. I liked Shadow of War
true.
and Shadow of Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor was sick. Shadow of War,
Shadow
though.
of
But I
Mordor is
mean,
sick.
WB,
Get out
I
of
feel
here.
like has honestly a really good
they're
track
good though,
record.
yeah.
So, and yeah, we haven't had a Harry Potter game in forever. So,
Oh my god, yeah. That's
Well,
hype.
mine's. I mean, God of War 5 is not coming out next year. Let's just be honest
Yeah,
with
it's not.
ourselves. There's not a fucking chance
I don't
that
think
game
so.
comes out next year. But let's pretend it is because they're telling us it is. Let's just pretend it is for the sake of it. God of War 4 is my favorite game of all time. So God of War 5 is definitely my most anticipated game of 2021, with Horizon being second. Horizon Zero Dawn's one of my top 10 of all time as well, and I just absolutely adore both of those franchises, and to see sequels for both of them in the same year would be incredible. I don't think God of War comes out next year. Horizon, I think, probably will come out at the end of next year, but who knows? There's still room for delays for a couple of months there, but it's more likely, certainly. But Hogwarts Legacy, I'm not a big Harry Potter person, but I'll definitely give that a shot. And Far Cry 6 is the first time I've been interested in Far Cry since 3, so
you shouldn't be excited.
Who knows? Yeah, I mean, I'm not excited. I just am like, oh yeah, it's actually. I
was
might
like,
pay attention to it.
It looked cool at first. Now I'm not sure. Because they showed all that like DLC like bonus stuff where you've got like a funny disabled dog and then also gun that shoots.
Didn't see that.
And it's like, oh, okay, so they advertised it first as like this serious grounded Far Cry game, like, like a 3 where it actually takes itself seriously but has kind of some wacky elements in there maybe. But now I guess it's just like, no, it's funny game. We sell microtransaction. You like it? We like it. Octopus Man. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Can't wait. Ubisoft's sick.
Most anticipated movie of 2021.
Wait, what one?
Oh shit! I thought we already said. The winner was God of War 5 by a fucking landslide. Got like 50% votes.
Oh wow.
Congratulations.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, God of War 5.
Yeah.
God of War 5. Most anticipated movie 2021. The nominees are Spider-Man 3, June, depending on how you fucking pronounce it. Mission Impossible 7, Cherry, which is the Tom Holland directed, the Tom Holland starring movie with the Russo brothers directing, and then Top Gun Maverick. I'd happily say my most anticipated of that is Mission Impossible 7. I fucking love Tom Cruise. I love the Mission Impossible movies, and 6 was my favorite movie of 2018. What about you guys?
Oh, sorry, I'm yawning. Jesus. Brett, what's your most anticipated movie?
Well, it's been so long since we've had a Marvel movie or show. So I'm going to go with Spider-Man 3. And also, I mean, they're bringing back everyone. So it could be a mess. It could be good. But I'm just excited to see it. Like, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire all just dressed up in the Spider-Man suits. I'm sold. Yeah. I don't know if it will be the best movie of all these. Probably not. But just see, like, the nostalgia. I have to see it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. That's assuming it comes out.
in 2020. It's
Next
not
year.
coming out in 2021 though, is it? Actually,
Have they announced that?
well, Doctor Strange comes out in 2022 now. Right? That's the
Okay.
thing. They've definitely said that. But Doctor Strange leads into Spider-Man 3, so Spider-Man 3 has to come out after. It can't come out before. So
It makes sense. It makes sense, especially because they haven't even started filming. They're just in pre-production.
yeah, everything's been delayed
I think they
so
actually
much.
did
So
start filming.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, right.
Yeah, it's December 2021 for right now is the actual date.
oh really?
Yeah.
What the fuck? How are they gonna do that then if it's set after Doctor Strange?
I don't know.
That's weird. Well, let me double check. Let me double check the shit.
Well,
Hang on.
is
when
Doctor
Doctor
Strange?
Strange is
Wouldn't
set,
that
'cause
be
I don't know if I'm
is it the
right.
last one though? Because I feel like WandaVision is supposed to be the first one, and then Spider-Man, then Doctor Strange, or maybe that order is wrong.
WandaVision is first. Then hang on, let me have a look here. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness debuts March 25th, 2022, starring Benedict Cumberbatch, Elizabeth Olsen, blah blah blah. Direct away. The film ties into WandaVision and the next Spider-Man film. Okay, so it doesn't say leads into, it says ties into. So maybe it comes after Spider-Man. But
Because
Yeah, I
Doctor
don't
Strange is in Spider-Man 3.
okay, so maybe it's WandaVision, then Spider-Man, then Doctor Strange. Maybe that's the order in
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the
Alright.
yeah. I guess yeah. Okay. Yeah,
I mean,
okay,
it's still
maybe.
possible though. It's gonna be delayed. Everything is gonna be delayed. Just
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the world we live in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Well, what's so would you say Spider-Man 3 then, Brett?
Yeah.
Yeah. And for you, James?
Yeah, Spider-Man 3 as well. I'm not gonna watch the other movies, so I don't care.
Okay.
Spider-Man's
Um,
gonna be sick. I want to see Tobey Maguire swinging a bat.
Well, I think
gonna
also
be
for
sick.
Spider-Man 3, like it's gonna be a good movie. Like the MCU just doesn't really fuck up. So it's not gonna be
Yeah.
bad. But I'm just worried that obviously they can navigate a lot of characters, but if it's the same director from the first two Spider-Mans, Homecoming and Far From Home, he's never done that before. So I don't have as much faith in it.
Yeah. A lot of people hate MCU Spider-Man as well, so there's that as well. Personally, I don't. I think they're sick.
Well, if they hate it,
but-
then they're getting the other ones back. So deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna get Tobey Maguire there, and he's gonna
He's gonna
You know,
dance, and
yeah, you're gonna love it. It's gonna be so good.
they better
He's gonna
bring
punch.
Harry
Harry
bring
Osborn in
Venom
the
back
face.
from Spider-Man 3.
Oh
not
yeah,
the
bring
new
him
Venom.
back. Bring them all back.
Bring back Spider-Man
No,
3
no, no.
Venom.
We'll bring him back too. Bring them all back. Just everybody's already in this film. Bring back both Venoms. That'd be
Yeah,
sick.
and Green
Do
Goblin.
that.
Both of them.
Yeah. Yes. Bring everybody back. I can't
Put
wait.
the Spider-Man
This is gonna be amazing.
PS4 version in there too.
Yeah. Just put all of them in there. That'd be great. Bring Spider-Ham in as well for a quick cameo. That'd be nice. I'd like that.
We'll get into this more in a sec. I just we'll smash through these two because the next thing I want to talk about is
Okay.
Marvel stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean you both are right. The winner was absolutely by a landslide. 67% of the votes. Spider-Man 3, most anticipated movie 2021 for the AsAlways Awards 2020. Most anticipated show of 2021: The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision, The Last Kingdom, The Witcher, and Cobra Kai. My most anticipated is obviously Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I can't fucking wait. What about you guys?
Yes, as well. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's my most anticipated.
I think I'm kind of more excited for WandaVision just because it's different and it leads into Spider-Man 3 and Doctor Strange a bit more. But I mean, Falcon and Winter Soldier, I saw the little, or I don't even think it was that little, but they released like a trailer, and that honestly got me more excited than WandaVision. But I feel like at the end, WandaVision's going to tie into the MCU more and just, I don't know. Both are going to be good shows. So either one of those.
Yeah.
WandaVision also looks super unique as well,
Yeah.
which I think is really interesting. It's a very new thing, and I think that's really, really cool. But, you know, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, when they showed that title card and it played that little bit of Cap's theme, yeah, it was good. It was very good. I'm so fucking ready for it.
So
It's going to be sick. It's really nice as well to see the MCU learning how to use music properly. So that was nice.
Yeah, agreed. I felt like they did a really good job in Endgame, so hopefully they just
Oh, they
go
did,
from
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, well, let's talk about Marvel then, because the winner was
What
well, actually,
one,
the winner. I keep fucking forgetting it's the winner. I'm like, oh, it's just our opinion, right? No, the winner for Most Anticipated Show of 2021 was The Witcher. Again, the show
Okay.
most anticipated. So people love The Witcher. It's a great show. I absolutely love that first season, and I'm very excited for the second season too. So that's great.
So I should watch it.
You should watch it. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's good.
But let's talk about Marvel.
Yes.
There's a lot of Marvel news, a lot of trailers for the Disney Plus shows and announcement of movies and dates and things like that. You've obviously got fucking.
You forgot all of it?
No, well, you've got Captain Marvel 2.
Can't wait.
The world loves it. The world's excited. And the internet didn't die a little. No, I mean, you knew it was coming, right? Like, you knew that movie was coming. Hopefully, you just hope it's better than the first and can improve.
Yeah. November 11th, 2022 it comes out.
Yeah. Black Panther 2's still on the cards for release.
Black Panther 2? Yeah. Well, they said they're not recasting, which obviously they wouldn't do. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
I wonder how it's gonna work in the movie though. Like, do they have footage that they can use, or they're just kind of do it off screen and just refer to it?
Yeah, that's interesting. I think it's a fucking tricky thing to do when you're writing around an
Has to be off screen.
death. So yeah, well, I don't think they're gonna show like a clip of Black Panther.
Yeah,
well,
I just wonder if they have footage that they can use like they did with Carrie Fisher and just I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But it'll be interesting to see how they deal with it, and I'm pretty sure they'll figure it out and do it in a way that's respectful, I reckon. So that's cool.
I hope so. And but the big thing was these Disney Plus shows. We got a WandaVision trailer, a Falcon Winter Soldier trailer, and a Loki trailer, which was I thought really good. Like, I know the Falcon Winter Soldier is going to be good. WandaVision's we've already seen trailer, looks interesting. The Loki one, I really liked that more than I thought I would like it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it looked cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super excited for it, but I just know based on the trailer it's going to be a good show, and if they release it every week, I'm going to be into it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks fun.
And it was good. They made it very clear of what we're dealing with and which Loki we're dealing with.
Yeah. Fake Loki.
Fake Loki from Endgame, but also fucking Owen Wilson's there. I'm like, what? Owen Wilson?
Oh, yeah. Owen Wilson's there.
What are you doing here?
He's Lightning McQueen.
He's Lightning McQueen. That's weird that's how you know Owen Wilson.
That's who he is. He's Owen Wilson from the Cars movie.
Yeah, right. That's so bizarre. The Falcon Winter Soldier trailer was great. They didn't try to do anything too much. They didn't try to show much story. They just you know what you're gonna get. Here's just enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
And it was cool seeing Bucky and Sam together, and they're back and forth. So I think their relationship looked cool. So it'd be cool to see that grow as well, just between the two of them, because they always had Cap there. So it was always the three of them. So it'd be cool to just see two of them together and see how they play off of each other. So that'd be cool. You saw it a bit in Civil War, and you're like, nope, they're going to be fucking great together, chemistry wise. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
So yeah, it's going to be great fun, and just hopefully seeing Sam develop into Captain America and Bucky get that redemption for himself. And I honestly really hope they announce, sometime in 2021 that they're developing a Captain America movie with Sam as Captain America, do a Captain America 4 in the MCU in 2023, so that Sam can be Captain America in the Avengers movies and the team up movies.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, I mean, aren't the shows gonna carry over to the movies too? So in the show, if he does become Cap,
well, yeah, they will, but it'd be cool to see a movie too, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So it's sure, that'll connect, but you're not gonna have a Captain America show. You'll have a movie.
Yeah.
But this show is just literally to be the transition period for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, as characters, and to get Sam to become Captain America, and then I assume you're going to have him be Captain America in this next Avengers movie. But then after that, you need to have a solo movie, right? Like you want to have solo Cap.
Yeah.
Have his own movie and keep that going, because you're not going to do a Falcon Winter Soldier follow up after Falcon's actually now Captain America. So that's all I think.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much, characters there in that Captain America world that they created with that trilogy and the Avengers movies with Sam and Bucky and those other side characters they're showing in this show, that I feel like you need to do it. You need to do a movie as well. So that's just me, but
I'd love to see it.
Can't fucking wait for it. WandaVision looked great again. They're not showing us. They didn't show us any more than we'd already sort of seen, in terms of plot. It's just sort of like just some new shots and scenes that we got to see without much context, and but it looks good. Looks really good.
Yeah, and that's coming out in
good to
like a
see
month. I'm
Marvel
pretty
back.
sure.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
January 15th. That's gonna be cool.
Finally, Marvel content.
Oh my god, I'm so happy Marvel's coming
missed it.
back.
Oh, I know. The 18 months was needed though, because
missed it a
there's
lot.
going to be nothing
It's
but
so
Marvel
weird though.
for the next 2-3 years.
Yeah. It's weird though, because the way that people's reactions or opinions of Marvel have changed is so odd. Because like when Endgame came out and Spider-Man and everything, everyone was so hyped. It's like, oh, MCU's so sick, this is great. Everyone's having a great time. And I think everyone had the same opinion that a break would be nice. But it's so odd because as there's been a break, this has been the longest period without a Marvel movie or anything like that since 2008. So it's really odd that people's opinions have shifted to, the MCU's kind of shit. Like, I don't really like it. It's not very good. Bad. It should have ended at Endgame. Why is everyone's opinion right? Or MCU should have ended at Endgame. Hey, nothing's happened. You don't even know it's bad. What the fuck are we talking about? It's so weird. Like, at least wait for something to come out before you decide,
that's such a weird
they don't know what
promise
they're
to
doing
see,
anymore.
Like, it should have ended after Endgame. Like you said, nothing has come
Nothing's
out.
happened yet.
If the next 10 shows and movies suck, then it's like, okay, fair enough. But nothing has come out. But Far From
that's
Home, which
so
is
weird.
like considered one of the best Spider-Man movies and MCU movies, and it made over $1 billion. What the fuck are you talking about?
Should have ended at Endgame. MCU shit now. Should have ended at
Should've
Endgame.
ended with
Hey,
Captain
nothing's
Marvel.
happened.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
And now you've got Spider-Man 3, and everyone's jizzing their pants over Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield potentially coming back, and like that'll be great. And I feel great for all those Spider-Man fans that love them. I could care less about Tobey Maguire's fucking Spider-Man. I could care less. about
Stop
Andrew
this.
Garfield.
Stop with the
Look,
bad
we
takes.
can talk
Here
shit
we
about the
go, here we
Mandalorian
go.
or Tobey Maguire, not both. We're cancelled. It's over. The fans are gonna end this.
Yeah, whatever. But
I'm gonna be on the most disliked
'em.
As Always podcast because of you guys and your bad takes.
I doubt it. I doubt this will be the most disliked. We've had some bad takes in the past.
Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on there. The only thing I'm worried about Spider-Man 3 is there too much going on? But we'll see.
Well,
we'll soon
again,
see.
they can pull off characters in a movie, like a lot of characters. Just this director has never done it before, so that's the only thing I'm worried
Yeah,
about.
that's what's
But like,
worrying.
Yeah,
Kevin
like if it was the
Feige-
Russo brothers, you're like, we're fine.
Yeah,
We'll be fine.
exactly.
Yeah. So we'll see. A challenge is good, and he did well with the first two movies. So yeah, it's just a matter of seeing it and hoping that obviously they're working a lot with multiverse in this next generation, this next era of the MCU. Excited for it. There's a lot of fucking random shows. I'm not sure about
A Miss
it all.
Marvel
but
show apparently.
you Miss Marvel. They sort of showed a little like behind the scenes thing of that. That looked pretty cool.
I didn't even
It
see
looked
that.
a bit like a kid's show though. The sort of vibe I don't know, but only time will tell. Again, with any of this stuff, we can't sit here and say should have ended Endgame. We don't fucking know.
Should have ended at Endgame. I don't want
miss
She-Hulk.
but I know that I miss the MCU, and I can't wait to see WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier in the first 3 months of 2021, and just get back into the universe and look forward to seeing some movies at the cinema as well.
Yeah.
But, there's no COVID where I'm from, so fuck you guys.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we'll figure it out. Everything will be fixed. They've got a vaccine on the go. We'll be alright.
They do.
Unless
They
it
do.
turns everybody into frogs, which I've heard
Yeah.
is likely to happen.
I've always
according
wanted to be a
people on
frog.
Twitter, so. Yeah, me too, exactly. So it's not an issue for me. I'll take
Yeah.
the vaccine. I'll be COVID free and I'll be a frog, so it's fine. But
It's great.
some people on Twitter don't like that, apparently. So,
Also, there's a Hawkeye series coming out in 2021 as well.
So
It is,
so good. That's
That's
flying
gonna
on
be
the
cool.
radar, and I cannot wait for that show.
Haley Steinfeld is
Jeremy
such
Renner from the
such
OG
a good
Avengers.
actor too.
Yeah, she's great. I like her a lot.
Yeah, she's a great choice. She's a great choice.
Yeah, she's
there's
great.
a lot of good stuff.
That'll
And
be
then
fun.
obviously Taika with Thor 4, Love and Thunder.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of that's going to be
Christian
good, even
Bale
if like,
is
maybe
in
there's
that.
too much. Maybe some of these shows aren't great. These movies are going to be really good.
Moon Knight will be fun. That'll be a fun like guy to explore. I think that'll be cool. It's like Marvel's Batman, so that'll be cool. You got Secret Invasion, Samuel L. Jackson doing some bits as Nick Fury, and you got Ben Mendelsohn as well.
Armor
So,
Wars,
it's gonna be wild.
the Roadie's own show.
Yeah.
I like
Interesting.
that, and just getting to be with the Iron Man sort of side of things.
I just don't like the name
Yeah.
of that
Old
show.
characters too.
The name is just
Armor Wars,
yeah, it's
yeah.
so weird.
It is a
Yeah.
weird.
Why not just call it War
name for a
Machine?
show, yeah.
Like I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why is it called Armor Wars? It sounds like a shit like
Mobile game.
kids fucking like some sort of rip off. Thing. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
weird.
they're
Weird
doing
decision.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Fucking, they're doing an Ant-Man 3. I love it. I fucking love Paul
Ant-Man
Rudd.
and the Walls. No good.
I'm very excited.
You like
now-
Ant-Man way too much.
I do, but it's mostly because I just love Paul Rudd. He's one of my favorite actors. It's really just about.
He's
Paul
not
Rudd
even
more than
that
he's
good. Like he's a bit funny, and like that's it. He's
that's what I
fine.
love about Paul Rudd. Like he's not even that funny. He's just a bit funny.
What?
And I
Just
kind
that
of love it.
Explanation is terrible. Why you like him?
Yeah, no, I love him. I love Paul Rudd.
I like
can't-
Paul
I-
Rudd in other things. Like I like him when he's in like Civil War or Endgame. Like I like him in those
Yeah,
films.
it is so movies.
I don't
though.
like him in Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Ant-Man just bores me.
I love Ant-Man. I stand
the
by
best
Ant-Man.
parts.
I can't wait for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Fucking hell.
Quantumania.
What about? It's a great title. What about Ironheart? What about that?
What is that?
So some girl makes an Iron Man suit. Is that what
Riri Williams, yeah. She's like the. So in the comics, like she's like Tony Stark's like the next one. Like she replaces Iron Man basically.
Yeah.
What do we think about that? Because like they're introducing this new character now that's basically going to take over and be the Iron Man almost, but not in the same way. But like is going to take up basically what that mantle was.
I guess I was
That's
hoping
which is in the
they'd
comics.
wait a few years and have it be in the story and the world be Morgan Stark.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for as well. So it's a bit interesting they've decided to jump the gun and do this now, rather than wait a bit and then have it be Tony's daughter and have it be more meaningful. Because it's like the same way that Spider-Man, as a Spider-Man film, I guess a lot of people are like, oh, it doesn't do this thing from the comics or this thing, but it makes way more sense in the context of the MCU. And that's really cool, like the way they adapted Spider-Man to be like, this makes way more sense in our story, so it's more meaningful. So it's odd that they haven't done that here. But who knows? It could be interesting, and they might not tie it into Iron Man as much as it is in the comics.
Yeah.
So it might be way more separate, which is fine.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see with that one.
And Fantastic Four. I mean, hopefully fourth time's the charm.
Fantastic
I just
Four.
really don't care about those characters. Like they're fine, but I don't know. For me, I've just never been a huge fan. Like they're just kind of there.
Oh, I love Fantastic Four so much. I always love when they would show up in the Spider-Man cartoons, and I was a big fan. Like Spider-Man had a good relationship with them, and I like that. And I like it. I have a lot of nostalgia for that the first movie. Maybe it's not the first movie they ever did, but the one
The
I
one
mean.
with Chris Evans.
Yeah, the one with Chris Evans. They weren't good movies, but like I have nostalgia for it, so like immediately, so I already like Fantastic Four because of those.
Yeah.
I actually,
so it's like, oh, I
like the villains a lot more, like Doctor Doom and Silver Surfer.
Yeah,
Like
Dr.
those are
Doom's
great
cool.
villains that I think will be super good in the MCU. So that's what I'm more excited about than the actual Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but I think they'll nail the Fantastic Four so that people that didn't like them or aren't a huge fan already, I think they'll make them interesting because the MCU always tends to do that. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun.
Will Chris Evans
be
come
fun.
back as Johnny Storm?
I fucking hope so. Yeah, he will, but in Spider-Man 3, not
Yeah,
in Fantastic Four.
Oh my god.
That's where they're doing it. We're also getting a Baby Groot show. You excited for that? Series of
No.
shorts. You excited? No, you're not excited for that. It's gonna be cute and adorable. It's gonna be the next Baby Yoda, just as good as that. So, yeah.
Wow. Very cool.
Be ready for it.
Was there any other Marvel stuff?
The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special
Yeah.
is another one.
Okay.
James Gunn is back though. James Gunn is back to write and direct it.
But we already knew he was doing the third one anyway.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like he's doing this one as well. Like it's not just like some other thing they're doing. Like he's doing
Yeah,
it.
it's
So
good
it'll
to
be kind
see
of
that he's on good terms
Cool, I
with
guess.
I
them
love
again,
Guardians, so yeah,
yeah.
I love the Guardians of the Galaxy, so I'm all about it.
Mhm.
Happy with
Yeah.
that. Very happy with that.
Yeah, and that's about it. But that's a lot of fucking things.
Yep.
It's a lot of things.
And a lot is coming
a
next
lot of
year.
things.
Like a lot of shows, it seems, is next year.
Well, it's like this year's worth of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Wait,
all,
so
yeah.
next
there's a
year
lot
we
going
had
on.
2 movies, right? We had Black Widow and Spider-Man. And then
Yes.
is there like
Yeah.
I think
4 shows
Is
or
that
something?
really it? Holy fuck. Is there really only 2 movies next year?
I don't know which.
I'm having a look.
I
I'm having a
guess.
look. Yeah, Black Widow is May.
Wait, there is one we're missing.
Oh, Shang-Chi
Yeah, that one.
comes out in July. Yeah.
And what about Eternals?
I'm looking
Because they
for it. I
finished
can't
filming
find
that last year.
it. I'm looking for it. I can't find it.
This is the problem
I
when
don't
there's so
know.
much stuff coming out.
I'm just scrolling down the Disney like news feed of like different announcements. I'm just scrolling through trying to find it. Pixar, no. There's a lot of Pixar. Holy fuck. Chris Evans is fucking Buzz Lightyear.
I don't know about that one, by the way.
So-
Being Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why they didn't get any of either of the people that played him in the show or Toy Story, or whatever. Multiverse of Madness, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Black Widow. So Black Widow is May 2021. Shang-Chi is July 2021, and then obviously Spider-Man is
Oh, Eternals.
saying to be coming.
Eternals
in,
is
and-
November 5th, 2021 as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
there is 4 Marvel movies, and I think 4
Yeah.
Marvel shows. Because there's.
Yeah,
okay.
that makes
And
sense.
that's assuming they don't delay Spider-Man, which they
Yeah,
might.
they probably will.
They probably will, because that's really close to Eternals. If it's coming out in
Yeah.
December.
Well,
So-
I don't know if it's up to the MC or not, because the rights and stuff.
Yeah, true. It's all Sony, but still, I reckon that they would be like, that's a bit crazy and kind of close. Although to be fair, they did do like straight away after Endgame, Spider-Man: Far From Home was like the next month, wasn't it?
It's
Wasn't it?
probably super close after.
It was very close anyway. Yeah, maybe.
But
Okay,
yeah, I'll-
interesting. That's a lot of stuff
Yeah,
though.
if there's like 4 movies and 4 shows, it's definitely gonna be crazy. And then all the Star Wars stuff too being thrown at us. 2021 is
God, Disney are doing big.
gonna be crazy.
It really is. Fucking hell. Disney need to calm down. They need to actually fucking calm down. This is too much.
Yeah.
Too much is
It's too
happening.
much.
You got like so many Pixar films as well. They're doing like so much shit. There's so much happening. I can't keep track of all
I
of
think
it.
Pixar actually has the most
wild.
stuff like coming out, but I don't know.
Yeah. Wow.
I feel like
Well, that's Marvel.
Disney Plus is
That's Marvel for you.
definitely a good place for Pixar, though. I don't know. For kids and
Yeah.
stuff, I feel like
Yeah.
Pixar is actually a really good
It
place.
makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's so easy
Disney-
accessible. And
Yeah.
kids can just watch shit over and over again. Like they'll just watch loads of shit. So it's probably a good. Yeah, probably will be good
Yeah,
to get that shit on there
yeah, for sure.
rather than at the cinema.
All right, let's get into the final award.
Yeah, Game of the Year.
Game of the Year 2020 for the AsAlways Awards. The nominees are Final Fantasy VII Remake,
Yes,
The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and Demon Souls. Brett, what is your Game of the Year? And if you say Watch Dogs Legion is a joke, you're out.
Well, so I haven't played the Final Fantasy remake, and I know you guys love it, and I feel like that would be my pick if I played it. So, like, the only ones I played is Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us and Spider-Man. Spider-Man Miles Morales, definitely not a Game of the Year. Like, it's a fun game, but not Game of the Year. Ghost of Tsushima has good things about it, but it's also just generic open world in some ways. But like Last of Us 2, the story ruined it for me. So like out of those,
Oh, really?
yeah.
So you're one of the people who didn't like the
Well,
Last
no,
of Us
I
Part 2.
like it. I think it's a good game, but I feel like the story could have been better. it's not. I don't think
Okay.
I'm not like
Okay.
I'm not a hater of it. I just think it could have been better. It wasn't what it definitely wasn't what I was expecting, but as the game goes, it's super polished. The story definitely has good moments, and the characters are well developed, most of them. So yeah, but I don't know. I guess Ghost of Tsushima out of those three, but I need to play
Okay.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah. And, well, we know James, yours is Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy 7 all the way. Fucking yes. But also, if it
Yeah.
wasn't Final Fantasy, it would be The Last of Us Part 2. Fuck
Yeah.
all of you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't played Demon Souls. I played an hour of Spider-Man. It was fun, but it's not gonna be game.
God,
of the year.
Spider-Man was
Valhalla-
actually really, really good.
Yeah.
Better than I
Valhalla,
expected it to be.
definitely not game of the year. Ghost of Tsushima was a great game. I had a lot of fun with it. The story's great. The world's great. It wasn't some game-changing game or anything, but it did a lot of things I liked. Great game. Definitely deserves to be nominated. Final Fantasy VII is fucking beautiful, gorgeous. Haven't finished it yet, but I absolutely love the game. I couldn't tell you whether it's game of the year or not, but it's already worth nominating and a phenomenal game. But The Last of Us Part 2 is my game of the year by a fucking landslide, and that story was so incredible. So incredible. The game is so well made. It's so polished. It's just so perfect. And I loved the story. I loved the direction it went. I loved what it put me through emotionally. No game's ever done what it did for me. And I still think about it. I spent like the next 2 months I was thinking about it. It like affected me a lot, that story.
I mean, it definitely affected a lot of
definitely
people.
The Last of Us Part
So,
2.
like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so, like, say what you want about the
Last of Us Part
story,
2
but
was my
like that
choice.
game, like you said, is super polished and it's just well done. Everything about it is so good. Like, again, that's one of those games that
Yeah.
just pushes the industry forward in what it does. Like, it's a technical
exactly.
achievement.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely agreed. And this was a close category for a few different games. The audience has voted, and the winner for the AsAlways Awards 2020 Game of the Year is Ghost of Tsushima. So, congratulations.
So dumb.
See, I picked
Ghost-
it, but
Ghost of
again,
Tsushima.
like, it's a good game, but I don't know, game of the year.
It comes down to like people just hate The Last of Us Part 2 so much they're willing to vote for Ghost of Tsushima. I feel like, whereas I feel like there's so many better. Like I would vote Miles Morales over Ghost of Tsushima. It's not that good.
I don't know
Like,
about Miles Morales.
It's good, but like, I don't know. I just think Ghost is like, it's so Ubisoft. Like the story is like pretty good, and like I like the characters, and I was engaged, and the world's beautiful. Like it's a great game, but like it's not that good. I don't know why people are like saying it's like, oh, it's the best game ever. It's so good,
Yeah,
like game
I
of the
agree.
year.
I agree with
It's
you,
just
James.
fine.
I'm surprised you like Miles Morales more, though.
I just really liked it. And also, it's so short.
It is.
Like, one of my biggest criticisms for Ghost was, like, it took me way too long to get through. And, like, playing Miles Morales, like, I finished it in, like, 3 days. And, like, that was me. I did everything. I finished everything in the game. And it just, in 3 days, and it just felt good. Like, it was just a good experience. I enjoyed it, and then I can move on to something else. And remember it fondly, and I liked that. And it had great character moments. It's just so good. Like, I think Miles Morales builds off the first game in such a cool way, but it's so unique. Like, it feels so unique from, like, the music to the tone, like, the fact that New York's all snowy. Miles as a character is so more well built out and, like, well-rounded. It's so good. His close group of friends and allies and, I loved it. I fucking loved it
I
so
love the
much.
characters,
Such
but
a
I
great
feel
game.
like his voice, after a while, I just started to, it kind of annoyed me a bit. I feel like his performance could have
Really?
been a bit better, honestly. Definitely during more of the emotional stuff. And also, I felt like it was actually super similar to Marvel Spider-Man. Like, yeah, they give him the Venom stuff to change it up, but the combat just felt the same, which isn't a bad thing. It just felt super similar to that game, for me at least. And just the way, like, the side missions, the collectibles in this game are not as good as the original.
Not as good.
But
I thought they were better.
you thought they were better?
Because I thought they were better because everything has like a story like behind it, so you always get something for doing it. You always feel rewarded with story in some way, whereas I feel like in Marvel Spider-Man, like the first one, it just
they are Easter
there was a lot of
eggs,
stuff where it was like
the first game.
it's like like there's some fine stuff. I just like collecting backpacks was cool in the first one because everything has a little story behind it, and I like doing that. It made it worth my time. But then like taking pictures of landmarks just didn't. I don't care. It unlocked stuff, but like I didn't care like for a story reason. Whereas I feel like for everything you did, whether it was like going around doing the music things, finding like the samples of music,
that was definitely a good side.
Like going around and getting the time capsules or whatever it was, like everything had like there was a story reason for everything, and there was a story behind it, and you get something, or like the collectibles you unlock after finishing the main story as well, going and doing all of those added so much of a really cool story layer to it, and I love that. So yeah, I don't know, I really like it. In some ways I like it more than the first game. Overall I prefer the first game. I think it's like more grand, and there's a lot more weight to it, it's longer, it's bigger, but I really like Miles Morales a lot. I had a really good time with it. That's my review. Thanks for listening.
All right. Well, without further ado, that's the As Always Awards 2020. That's the As Always podcast for 2020. The biggest year the show's ever had. The support has been mental this year. We improved a lot this year, and we'll keep improving into the next year with a lot more amazing shows to come. And I can't wait to see what happens, see where we go. And Brett, thank you for joining us today.
Yes, I'm glad I'm glad I was here.
Yes,
I was awake for this because honestly I was about to go to bed. But yeah, I'm glad.
God.
That would have been terrible.
What time is it for you now?
It's 7 a.m.
Oh my God.
I literally laid in bed and then I saw a Discord notification. I'm like, what's happening? And then it was you guys in the chat. I was like, oh, I should, get out of bed.
Appreciate
it was definitely
because I want to go to bed right now. I am exhausted. I just want this to end and to sleep. So I don't know how you feel. You must be feeling even like have some sort of second wind or something. Yeah, understandable. It makes sense. It makes sense.
I love you too.
I get it.
I don't care about you, James.
Do you know who else I love?
Fuck. Well, never mind then.
Yeah.
I'll take
Do you know
it
who
back.
else I love? Do you know who else I love though?
Tell us.
Patreon.
The
Those guys,
great people
right?
over at patreon.com/AsAlways. So if you like what you're listening to and you want to hear more, head over to patreon.com/AsAlways for the best podcast on the internet, the Clubhouse podcast for just $1 a month. You get exclusive access to that, plus early access to videos like the current Ghost of Tsushima Legends 4 Pillars co-op series and other cool perks and rewards. So be sure to do that. Consider it. Just head over. It's a beautiful thing. And to thank a few of the Sweet Vintage lads, we have Josh Duh Vil Yay, Damian, Real Cinema, King Richard III, Viridian, Colton the Cream Pie King, Jesper Olsen, Olberic, It Seems the Wind Calls Me Back to Randvi, Avry Dobbs, Cat94, Flashparadox, Does the Name William Miles Ring a Bell, Cassandra Fingers Me with Her Thick Strong Arms, Raj, Matt Carnes, Bullsack47, Seth, Mario 5380, Lumistrad, Pink Flame 313, Adam Sunling, Casey Wood, Ooga Booga, Chinga Booga, Tugga Mugga, Luga Suga, Vuga, Dugga Ruga, Sab 2557, Henry, Kimasaba Gamer Cream Pie, Sicarius, aka Kieran, Justin, Aragon, Simon Jr., Zerahoon, Mealcat Borg, BQ Overlord the Elder, Fishy, The Creed, Ravjai, T-Man the Travis, Son of Bitch, Odio Dogger, Harrisy, aka Bad Assassin, aka Ice Wallow, Marcus, aka Blackburn, Connor Joyce, Bully in the Alley, Gene, aka You've Made Quite a Mess of Yourself, Young Man, Joshua Mora, Brian Ford is now really good at Gwent, Frankie Gaffney, Joe the Sexy Boy Smith, Josh J. Anderson, Winona Ryder, aka Lynch from Destination Wedding, Furious Coco, Alfie Robert, Benedict Clobbers, Noah Watts, Smexy Dork, The Ultimate Audio Virgin, Joe the Lioness Charming, R-Seeding, Coke Snorting, Cat Killing, Nonce Hating, Founder Scarab, aka Tyler's Son, Victor Eliason, Fat Fuck Cuck, Ginkgo Swag, Assassin, Master Bass, TJFL, Luca, Andy Cure, Max H, Ashton is not happy that Matt Platinumed Odyssey, Chunky Malhar, Nick Miller, Raddock, Jack DJ 1998, Owen Big Brain, Walshy, Jason Otter, Gwen Hughes, but when is the Blood and Wine retrospective though? Evan Brown, I was broke for a couple of weeks, I'm sorry, but now the Ben Higgins is back with a plow sword even thicker than before. Christian Rowe, your money, I don't have your money. Philip Stillwagon, give me your penis. Kyle, Lady Litzomania, Greenies Weenie, Liam, AC Landmarks, Alexander, Jackery, Rainy Not Sunny, Louis de Leon, Tristan Obigfell, Evan the Kitty, Big Dick, 666999, Angel of Harlem, Big Lad, Ewan, Josh the Second, Christian0210, Hurlsberg, Edgar is doing bits in Tsushima, aka http.yokai, Bear Z, Otaku World 7, Tyler Corbin, Possessed Jackal, Trajan, Markion, Young, Zeppo, Kieran, Hind, March, Biggest Fucking Virgin, Thomas James Talbot, She Like the Fuck Me, Sug Me, Me Sug Me, Fuck Me, I'm the Ice Cream Man, Gamer Man, Leonardo da Vinci, I Am In Your Debt, Bodge, Callum, Elias Rowe, Jan, or Jan, Vander Meer, L. Dot, Order 1908. Thank you, streaming such a about this
Oh
podcast.
my
Holy fuck, I want to be
God.
dead right now. Thank you for watching
What
this
the
podcast
fuck?
and supporting us in 2020. We will see you all next year for the relaunch of As Always in January of 2021. Thank you again, and we will see you
We
all
shall.
Bye.
Goodbye.
We will indeed. See you later, boys. Bye bye.
If you guys get Darby on the show, definitely don't read those names.